Who remembers what happened last time?
I do.
I remember most of it.
Mason did the recap last time. I want to hear JB do it.
It's true. And every time I give a recap, I will give an awful recap.
Now, I forget where it began exactly. I think we started just like in the Feywild, didn't we?
Yeah, because we had just blinked in.
Okay, so we're exploring around. Mason goes up in a tree, finds the direction we going. Sebastian, I choose character names. So then we find a river full of spooky dog boys, and we just run away from it. And we find an orchard getting pillaged by some of those, well, not satyr boys. What are they called?
Fawns.
Fawns.
That's what they are. Deal with the fawns. Owner is as gracious as a fae can be. Make a deal to stay at his place for the night. Learn about the pumpkin boy a little bit. Sebastian has a little discussion with Potts that night. We're guided to go talk to someone who's important.
Yeah, that guy.
He's a partier guy.
The Bonfire King.
Yeah, the Bonfire King.
Vavnok.
Yes.
And on the way there, we find a big field of emotion flowers.
Yes, that is a word for them.
Taz finds the lust flower. Sebastian was blue.
We don't know what the blue ones was, and that bothers me. I want to know.
I thought mine was white.
There were white ones, and then there was like a bluish kind of fuchsia mix, and then there were the lust flowers, as JB put.
Oh yeah.
So aptly put.
They
Bluish fuchsia. What is that?
They're passion bells.
Passion bell.
Flowers that take in emotion from sentient beings that touch them, and then will depart it onto whoever touches them and take in the next emotion. And it's reflected by color.
So what was Sebastian feeling that made that color? Tell us, Sebastian.
Or I think he touched the blue one. Or did he make them blue?
I made them blue.
Oh.
Because I remember Sebastian watched Ophelia touch them, and Ophelia was just like, what the fuck? And then they turned yellow because she was like anxious about it. I was just like, oh, well, they're not attacking. Cool. I'm going through. And then they turned blue behind me.
You seem to be filled with determination.
Nice.
After everything, it's still you.
So, with the recap that JB gave, we leave you all. Having just passed through the Passion Bell field, greeted with the sound of drum.
Oh my god, Viking music! Yeah.
You can hear them off in the distance, beating, pulsing. Even for kind of hearing them off a ways, you can still kind of have that beat, that thrum, the kind of within you, kind of feel it in your bones, in your chest. What would you like to do?
Do we like see something in the distance?
Make a perception check.
Okay.
First roll of the game.
this. Oh. 24.
Ooh.
You notice, kind of watching sort of the path that was taken through the flowers behind you, both by yourselves and whoever else had recently gone through them, leaving those trails before that you could run into. You kind of follow that and look straight to where you guys were facing coming out of the field, and you notice, despite there's been this sort of perpetual twilight, it's almost darker in that direction. Almost as if the light is being kind of suffocated in a way.
This is not the most inviting party.
It's got good music though.
Yeah, in like a sacrifice type of way.
I mean,
Nah,
you
they're
don't
just
know
serious.
that.
There's a serious bunch.
Okay, someone else lead the way.
Well, I am the navigator, so I'll do it.
Sounds good.
I'll go towards the drums.
Alrighty. Begin walking towards the drum. You all begin following this trail, and the music, the beat of the drums gets marginally. No longer is it simply before you, but it is all around. You can start to see motes of orangish light off in the distance, a ways from the beaten path that you tread. And the light continues to suffocate more. It's as if where you look is darker in between those motes of light in the distance.
Who was that? Shaylin? No?
Yeah, Shaylin. Popped
Yeah,
in.
she rejoined.
I'll keep
Wait,
on
was she
keeping
not-
on.
Kayla, were you not here?
I think she was. It was like a quick pop in and out.
Okay.
But I can't
Can you
her.
hear us?
Uh-oh. Maybe
Oh.
she didn't hear that.
Getting it figured out, yeah. Hello? Hello?
The look of concern on her face.
Are y'all waiting for me? I think I fixed it. I
Oh,
was having
okay.
a complication.
Sweet.
Stop.
My
you
headphones
hear.
just stopped working all of a sudden.
Oh no.
Love that.
Making sure you could hear us and vice versa. Okay, so yes, the foreboding darkness. It seems anywhere but near these motes of light, it's as if the light is being suppressed. That sort of almost the light dusky sort of glow that the twilight sky is offered is muffled by this suppressive shadow everywhere, which contrasts with these kind of bits of almost like embers off in the distance around you, to the sides and front. The only way to discern any sort of direction of the drums is going forwards. You can hear it all around, kind of like the 8D YouTube ASMR videos, except you can tell it gets only louder and more intense. That beat in your chest, almost as if you're following that thrum, as if it's kind of like you see in those cartoons, like a scent, like a mote of smoke comes over, like tickles the chin and like drags them forwards.
Nice.
You guys continue on following this beat. It's getting more and more intense, deeper in set. you begin to see more of these motes of light begin to grow larger and larger, and before long you realize that these bits of light are actually bonfires off in the distance. The flickering, crackling flame, you can hear its each bonfire that you pass in the distance, you can hear that sound of drums just adding to the cacophony that's all around you. You can see other parts where bonfires, sort of the crackling sound of burning logs, and other bits of tinder, almost as if you can see the light kind of flicker, as if something solid is passing in between your line of sight and the fire itself. And several of them kind of flicker repeatedly as you kind of train your eyes on them, and you realize that there's people, you assume, moving around the bonfires in a circular fashion. And before you know it, that light, the sort of oppressive darkness around is almost non-existent with the sheer amount of bonfires you realize are all around you.
Ooh. Can we see like what kind of creatures are dancing around them?
Make a perception check.
Having this many bonfires in the forest just doesn't seem like good fire safety.
20.
20, alrighty. You can make out what appear to be some humanoid figures. A good portion of them, if not all of them, you can see in kind of one of the nearby bonfires are humanoid. Though you can catch elements of kind of maybe bits almost like branching out from one of them. You kind of gather maybe that's like a nymph or a dryad of some kind. Others where they've got horns. Some where they come out of the forehead, and others kind of like that horizontal fashion. You realize there's satyrs and fawns here. As you get kind of closer looking at this one, you can see what appear to be humans in various states.
Uh-oh. They're probably not here of their own free will. I
As
whisper.
they're dancing around, one of the dryads seems to notice you, and kind of with a giggle wiggles her finger at you, and I need you to make a wisdom save.
Oh wait, I'm great at that. Thanks, Grimace.
Damn.
Nice try, thought.
Ye thoughter is not one of the woman of the cloth.
I'm just like, honey, are you of your own free will right now? Do you need some help?
Are you okay?
You seemingly unaffected by whatever just happened. You felt that kind of tug, but resisted it. She drops kind of like a little pouty face and then goes back to dancing around the bonfire with the rest of the creatures that are currently lost in this dance.
Oh my god, you guys. Be careful, we're gonna get stuck here dancing for the rest of our life.
Nah, they're just trying to have a good time, the Fae.
I don't know.
So how do you think we find the man in charge?
Wait, what?
I was asking the party how they thought we find the man in charge.
Oh,
Just here, I'll go ask somebody. Gonna like walk over to a bonfire. Be like, excuse me, where is Vavnok? Anybody?
okay. They simply ignore you.
That's rude.
And as you get closer to one of these other bonfires, you can see there's a couple of fawns, one with kind of like grayed fur and hair, dancing around with two others that look to be about as spry as Taz. There is a few humans, and you can see there's kind of like a pile of what looks to be some bits of clothing nearby. You can see all the humans are male. One of them seems to be in like this very like loose kind of like white stained tunic, like soaked through with sweat. And looking at him, he appears to be old, almost decrepit, and yet he moves with almost the same grace and vigor as the rest of the creatures that are moving around. You can see two of the other human males that are there seem to be maybe middle-aged, maybe like mid to late 20s and 30s. And one of them seems to be wearing kind of like the like sort of standard almost like dress pants, and like sort of military boots, and kind of like a uniformed undershirt on top, and the other one seems to have his jacket over his shirt unbuttoned, of course, as they're dancing, and it looks similar to uniforms you've seen before in Castellan.
The
Fucking
absolute
got 'em.
mad lads.
Are there any like children?
None that you can see,
Okay,
not
good.
at this bonfire anyway.
Do I see Godheart?
No, you don't see that,
Yep.
but
You said over there. Should we save them?
They look to be having a good time.
I don't want to step on any toes around here, you know.
Oh boy.
Wait a minute, I guess that's maybe a way to make Vavnok appear, is start ruining his fun.
Are you
I don't know if you
suggesting
would-
we should cause a scene?
Oh god.
Just start dousing bonfires. Putting them out.
May not be in a good mood when we find him.
What do we want from him again?
He has something for us that could help us defeat Mulberry.
Some belonging offers or something.
So what we need to do is impress him with our dancing skills. Once we find him. Then he will notice us and want to talk to us.
I'm gonna look around at all the
Okay.
bonfires like, where should we start? And
Taz, what about that thing you do where you play like so good that it makes everyone look at you?
If they're charmed, though, I don't know if they'll. I'm not as powerful as Vavnok.
Oh. Hmm.
I could try, though. It's just other Fae are pretty resistant to that kind of stuff.
True.
I could cause a scene. I am quite apt at that.
I might just start dancing really well. You know me, I'm a little performance boy.
I like to dance too.
When in doubt,
you
boogie
can
out.
dance if you want to.
Do you want to dance, Ophelia?
Yeah?
Around the fire?
Yes. Quick,
Damn.
I need some horny incense.
Oh no, please.
Please, Mom, no.
Just kidding.
Again.
Just kidding.
Plenty of
Okay.
horn right there with Taz.
I'm gonna.
I'm gonna
Anyone
put
have-
my pleasure passion belt behind my ear and be
Ooh.
and then start dancing.
El romantico.
I'm gonna pull out some wine and just chug it because everyone dances pretty good when they've got some wine.
Hey,
You just have wine with you.
Do I have advantage now?
that's not how
Advantage on
drinking
what?
works. I'm the
Dance
alcoholic here.
performance. Oh yeah, I don't have wine. I'm gonna go over to the drunk Sebastian, can I please have something to drink?
Actually, I lost my flask some time ago when we were running the barricade on Keiru, so tried to make an improvised bomb. It didn't work out too well, so been depressingly sober.
That's really disappointing.
Sorry I couldn't be a drunk when you need it.
Alright, I'm going into this. I'm just trying to feel the music, you know?
You both are going to the bonfire?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Okay.
get stuck there.
You jump into the fake conga line that's happening right now around this bonfire, joining the 3 satyrs and the 3 humans. The drum sounds intense. It's beating in your ears, almost like you can hear your own heart kind of thumping in your ears. It is constant. It is invading, and I need you both to make another wisdom saving throw.
Would this
This
be
can
a
only enjoy.
charm or sleep effect?
It would be a charm, so you would have advantage. And actually, Ophelia would be, because she succeeded, you're immune to this. So you can just dance if you want.
Oh,
You can leave
15.
your friends
Yeah.
behind.
You can dance if you want to.
15. It's a good thing you didn't have disadvantage.
Yeah.
Good thing you had
Absolutely
advantage. Yeah. So, you feel that tug towards the bonfire, towards the dance, Taz, but you manage to resist it. Kind of clear your head for a second. You're conscious and you're aware of the choice that you made to dance on this at this bonfire, and you continue to do so long as you choose.
I roll a performance to flex.
Sure.
Flex.
Damn.
Ooh.
Nat 6, but you know,
Nice.
got to a 19. So.
Fuck off.
Bruh.
I'm just trying to get a 30 of the game's busting my balls.
One day, friend. One day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna like.
Is your charisma already 20?
Yep.
I'm gonna put Buns on the ground and command him to dance. Like, start me out, Buns.
I'm
Awaken
gonna
him
need you
so
to
he can
make
dance.
a wisdom save for Buns.
I don't remember his stats. I wrote it down somewhere. I'll look it up.
Probably is 0.
I'm just kidding. I think he's too dumb.
He's too dumb to be charmed.
No, I taught him how to dance. Wait. Oh yeah, he doesn't have skill stuff. What is performance use? Charisma?
Charisma.
He has a 10 charisma. That's really cute. You got this, Buns. You got an 11.
If you were rolling a wisdom save for real, he would have been lost in the bonfire for forever.
Oh, I was making a performance. Da-da-da.
A performance? Okay.
Chris.
Yeah, I mean, he's cute. He's got a horn. Watch out. He flop.
Oh no, my dancing is only a 13.
It's definitely not as good as Taz's. Taz's dancing is almost mesmerizing, or rather is. And both Valora and Sebastian, you guys kind of, though haven't been necessarily close enough to feel sort of the draw to the bonfire that you're not quite sure exists yet. You can't look away from Taz. Dude's got some moves.
He is looking pretty smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Ready? How long do you wish to dance?
As I'm dancing, I wanna try and talk to anyone about this Vavnock guy. See if does anyone try and talk, or they're all just dancing? Because there's that dryad who was more like not really like a mind blocked, you know. She was just like inviting us over rather than dancing. There's everyone that seems like free of will to an extent.
You try and talk to some of the members, and they just kind of keep dancing as if nothing exists in this world but them and the bonfire.
Okay, different strategy. I'm gonna try to like grab one of the Castellanders and
Okay.
cast a 5th level spell on them. Greater Restoration.
Damn.
It should be good enough. Yeah, okay. So, you, which one do you cast it on?
The youngest looking one.
Okay. Young man, sort of longish, hair, shaggy, clean shaven, dancing about, kind of purple eyes reflecting the bonfire, quite nicely. But as you grab a hold of him as he dances by and cast a greater restoration, kind of that magical divine energy flows through him. He just kind of like looks around for a second, and just immediately the exhaustion of having just been dancing for however long he has just washes over him, and he just kind of collapses down to the ground for a second onto his knees.
Okay, I try to hold him up a little bit.
Okay. Where am I?
The Feywild? Do you remember how you got here?
Vaguely. Where am I? Where's my squats? He kind of starts looking around and like rubbing the sweat out of his eyes. And he's like leaning heavily on you, like his legs are like wobbling, like you can see his knees basically knocking together at how weak they are.
Oh no.
A little spaghetti falling out of his pocket.
I think that you and your squad. The word squad is so funny.
Squat.
Sounds like I'm talking about his friend group.
In some ways, they kind of were.
A dance party. So I'm rescuing you though. What's your name?
Dance party? What? My name's Emmerich.
Ooh, I like it. Guys, come meet Emmerich.
Hang on, I'm dancing.
Taz is still dancing around the bonfire.
I tried to like carry him over to Sebastian and Fedora.
Okay, you kind of half walk, half drag him over, away from the bonfire, down back onto the path. You guys can see Ophelia bringing this young man over, who looks like he's done CrossFit nonstop for the last 24 hours.
Oh great, she's got another man. It's a little younger than she usually prefers, isn't it? I say to Laura.
As you kind of like start, as you're moving him over, he's like, no, wait, and just kind of leans over and just hurls.
Oh.
Ooh.
Lovely.
And a little bit of bile comes out, but not much, and he just kind of dry heaves a second time.
This man needs some food. He needs to relax. And he also needs to tell us. You don't remember anything that happened, sir?
I think so. And he kind of. What are you just bringing him over to the road?
Well, I was just gonna set him down like, on a grassy patch, like by a
Okay.
tree or something.
You set him down. He leans up against a nearby tree, just kind of catching his breath. He looks like his arms are just like noodles, and his legs, the poor guy.
Once you rest up, you're gonna look real fit, though.
It's gonna have really big calf muscles.
Yeah.
Albeit, I'm not gonna make the joke.
Lots of endurance.
No. Was gonna it sounded good in my head, and then right when I was about to say it, I was like, it's not gonna work.
Call it off.
I have to type it.
Boo.
I didn't trust myself to pronounce it right.
Calf still landing.
My God.
Anyways, yeah, he just kind of like leans his head back against the tree, and without any further prompting, he just kind of passes out right there. The poor guy.
No.
Well,
Okay, I'm gonna look around and be like, "Oh man, I ruined the party a little bit."
I doubt they even notice he's gone.
Basically, walk into a party, like knock one glass off the table.
Oh no, it's ruined.
Ruined the party.
Shit. Ow.
Is it time to cause a scene?
Yeah, go ahead.
I rub my hands with relish and I reach into my bag. I take out that bottle of Fey River water.
I'm sorry. Did you say you rub your hands with relish?
Yes.
Gotta lube them up.
He just pulls out some Heinz sweet relish and just squirts
Just
it
in
into his
relish.
hand.
It's
Ew.
it's like I'm looking forward to causing a problem on purpose. Damn.
Covered in Heinz relish.
Why is Sebastian like mayhem in male form?
Oh
Right.
no.
I just prefer direct results.
Well, we're waiting.
So
Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna take my bottle of Fey River water and I'm gonna walk up to the nearest bonfire and poof, right in the middle.
Okay. You toss it in, and you hear the glass shatter. You hear the of water immediately evaporating. You watch as the bonfire doesn't even flicker once.
Well,
Is it an illusion?
I think it's too big. Too little water.
well,
Good
I was
effort.
hoping magic river water would do.
Sebastian, you're also gonna need to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no, I only had one greater restoration.
Blew it on Hans the.
This is like when I used my diamond on that right.
That's pretty.
Oh, wait.
Thankfully,
Yeah, 22.
thankfully you succeed. As you approach and toss in the water, you feel almost like a longing to just stay a while, dance a little, have some fun. But you manage to resist the temptation and pull yourself away from the bonfire.
Perhaps we should go in further.
Yeah,
Really
think I
felt
need
that
to
river
cast-
was a hard punch.
before we go in, I cast Beacon of Hope. Okay, guys, this gives us greater resistance to the sins of this world. Okay, of this land.
Nope.
Let's
Really,
go quickly.
really role playing that cleric aspect, huh?
Thank you. Yes.
Where was this for the whole rest of the campaign?
Now the.
Okay. I'm done. Let's move, everybody. I've had a change of heart after seeing the negative effects of temptation. Alright. We only have a minute, though. So let's make use of it and go
I
deep.
mean,
Sprinting around.
we all passed
Okay.
on our saves, so we're all immune.
Not
Laura
I.
hasn't gotten close.
I
yet.
haven't
True.
done anything.
Okay, now Valora has advantage. Good.
Dip your toes in the water.
Alrighty, you guys continue further. And you go, and the amount of bonfires increases in frequency. You can see it's almost like you're really like everything is lit quite well. It's almost like you're out in like a city during nighttime where it's just bright lights everywhere, with only little bits of darkness in between. Just bonfire after bonfire after bonfire. And as far as you're concerned, you can see the ones closest to you are like maybe 15, 20, 25 feet off to the side of the path. But you can see what look to be kind of bits of ember off in the distance, indicating most likely further or bonfires even further out. And it's not easy, or really it's just impossible to tell just how far out this swath of land stretches with how many bonfires are there. But as you get closer, you begin hearing the sounds of marching feet. But this is not kind of like it's not like Feywild TM surround sound. Um, it has direction. Almost to hear it almost to your west. You turn and you look and you can see moving lights, torches, and being held by what looks to be kind of a small group, with a figure at its head as they kind of are making quick time and seem to pass by you guys.
Who are they?
Did they appear like armed or what? Or can we
Make
not tell?
perception checks.
By the way, I'm bringing Emmerich with me.
Ooh, 21.
Okay. I'm glad you said that. Alrighty.
We
So,
Monk vision.
you can make out a couple of things. The group is kind of like a rough and tumble collage of bits of figures. You can see what looks to be a few kind of Eladrin, kind of bedraggled. Not something as magnificent as like the She that own the orchard that you guys saw, or Kianor, who led you to the Amber Father. They seem to be in winter form. You can see a couple of other creatures, weird, almost squat, with like hunched shoulders and kind of long, pointed ears. This kind of deep greenish gray skin. Some of them have facial hair. A few are holding torches, kind of hobbling along. There's a small little like cart that's being pulled that seems to have indistinguishable items there. And at the head of them seems to be a figure that really stands out amongst the rest, kind of a contrast to the darkness. Almost like a figure, almost like a bonfire, somewhat, walking on its own two legs. This figure posing, striking, wearing what looks to be chainmail with kind of a red tabernacle over it, and helmets that kind of comes up. It's almost like a steel skull cap with like little bits that go over the eyes, this long red beard. And he is carrying, not carrying, but one of the squat creatures near him is holding a banner, carrying a standard that looks like, because Sebastian, you rolled a nat 20. You can see the standard depicts what looks like a house with bird legs.
Oh shit!
I
Yes,
know who
man.
that is.
I know exactly who that is.
I'm thrilled. So wait, is that? I'm gonna like. Do you guys point it out? I don't know if it's either.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like. They have legends about that. I'm fairly certain. I'm gonna point to the banner.
It's not the. It's Fire King.
No, I believe that is Baba
Make
Yaga.
make an Arcana.
That fucking Baba Yaga, bro.
I mean, it could be this Boba Yoga. I'm not sure.
Lasagna. Baba.
On God.
If he explains it to me, could I also roll?
Yeah, you could.
Nope. Pretty sure. Nah.
But anyways, you see this entourage pass by. You gather there are other paths that lead through this bonfired forest. But you also notice that as they're getting ahead of you, that they're kind of getting almost like closer to your path, and you realize they must be converging someplace.
Everyone act normal. Especially you, Heinrich. He's like sleeping.
He's like barely awake.
You're carrying him piggyback.
Just like, I don't know how to carry him.
I mean, he really can't walk. The poor guy's been dancing nonstop for who knows how long.
Here, I'll carry him piggyback.
You're immediately struck with this awful stench of BO.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
You feel your back get wet.
Ew. Okay, I'm gonna use
Not worth.
thaumaturgy.
He's a sweaty boy.
I use thaumaturgy to just create the smell of roses everywhere.
Okay.
Oh, it smells like someone worked out in a rose garden.
Sounds hot.
Emmerich becomes a car freshener.
I want to try and like get closer and not like stand in their way, but just kind of look at these figures and see where they're going.
You want to watch the entourage?
Mhm.
Okay. You watch as they continue on past, and they kind of keep going until they're kind of just out of sight. Where, though there's bonfires all around, on the paths, there's just kind of where they lead is almost like this bit of darkness. And I hate doing these hand motions that you guys can't see. It's it's forced to have.
We should follow them. They seem to be important, you know.
Oh, well, I guess if it's some sort of hag, then that's related to our problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't
Let's
know about
go.
a hag, but they just seem to be, not dancing.
Like, maybe they're gonna go talk to the Bonfire King.
Exactly. We have to hurry though. They're pretty fast. They're booking it.
Okay, go.
Easy for
Follow.
you to say.
Just drop him.
No!
Not worth. They're the
He's
enemy.
dead weight.
I'm gonna cast.
Hang on, my delivery driver's stupid. I went the wrong way. I have to go with like.
I'm gonna cast Enhance Ability on Sebastian.
Oh.
Strength.
Big boy.
Now you can carry him. My new child.
Is that like what, a +2 to strength?
It's advantage on strength stuff.
Gotcha.
So, the beacon of hope at this point would fade
Oh yeah.
because enhanceability is.
Wait, did you ever
concentration as well.
roll? Did Valora ever roll?
No,
yeah,
she
would I
never
have needed
got,
to?
you
I went
never
with
really got
them.
close enough.
Girl. You made me waste.
I mean, I figured I followed you guys, but I guess I didn't go near a bonfire.
Oh, was she not in danger at all?
I mean, she could have been, but
Can I-
she never.
Could I rescind my spell?
Sure,
retcon
we'll
that.
rescind the spell.
Yay!
We'll retcon.
What a nice boy.
Did you give up, our boy?
No.
No, she retconned casting her beacon of hope, not Emmerich.
Okay. Cool.
Alrighty. What are you wanting to do?
Should we stealth?
I think we can just
I mean,
keep our distance, but they're pretty focused. We can try.
Okay.
Sure, why not?
Okay. Stealth mode activated.
Oh boy,
Ooh.
I'm in.
Ooh.
Cloaking device on.
Oh.
Uh,
Okay. Oh no, the rogue.
I have advantage. Everything's fine.
Oh. Okay.
against being charmed?
No, for
No,
stealth.
stealth.
Oh, for stealth.
Mason's 76 years old.
It's true.
Sebastian's gonna roll stealth with this Emmerich on you.
Oh, so do I have disadvantage?
Yeah, you're carrying an extra body, bro.
Damn.
But he has advantage on
It's okay. I'm proficient.
Advantage on strength, not dex.
Oh.
Alrighty, you guys begin following after this entourage in what you believe to be a quiet pace. Though the occasional branch snap and grunt / shifting of weight as Sebastian kind of fixes his hold on Emmerich on occasion, feeling the poor lad begin to slide down a little bit after a few minutes. You guys follow this entourage into what looks like a glade, kind of an open spot in this forest. And around it are countless bonfires. And within those, you can see they're kind of almost formed up in like this large ring around what immediately sticks out to you as even larger bonfires that form a smaller ring around this massive monolithic rock.
monolithic what?
we found the place.
Rock.
Rod?
Rock.
Rock.
Big rock. It's a boulder.
Yeah,
Sounds like something you would sacrifice someone on.
that big chungus in the middle.
Where?
Mm,
Oh,
that big chungus.
oh my god. Did you draw this?
No. I mean, yeah, dude, totally.
Is that a set of fucking teeth?
Okay, grabbing my
I'm
food
really
everywhere.
scared. I'm scared about what I'm seeing here. I'm a little bit worried.
So, because I didn't work on this again after I finished it initially, just imagine all these smaller bonfires have like loads of people just dancing around them.
Okay.
I didn't have the time nor the motivation to copy and paste, civilian number one.
A million times.
Yeah, basically. So I tried, and then I was like, nope.
There's only so much the browser can handle.
So, you follow the entourage. By the time you catch up again, you're these countless bodies in a giant sort of. You walk up, reflects in these clouds in the twilight sky. It's weird. There's like this constant orange glow to just everything around you nearby. You can see, looking at sort of the tree line nearby and across the field, giant shadows dancing across, like these massive silhouettes dancing across the leaves of these trees. And you can see this entourage has by the time you arrive, had filed through and have taken places either at bonfires or at the. And you see the figure in red kind of grab a few things. He has some of his little like squat minions go and grab some things. Most things from the cart, basically, they start unloading it by this giant monolithic stone, which stands behind this hulking grayish black figure with kind of this large pot belly and long curved horns. And he's got kind of like these big old earrings that go through his kind of long, kind of Buddha-like lobes. And you see the red figure go and take something from the cart personally, and then turn towards the hulking figure sitting in front of the monolith, get down on his knees and offer it up. You can't make out what is said, they're too far away, but you see the figure kind of laugh a moment and then motion for the figure to rise and then points him to sit at the table near his own table.
Hmm.
And the red figure takes his place.
What did he just give him? Do you guys think this is the Bonfire King?
Oh yeah.
He's very ugly.
Then
The chunky one?
the one he kneeled to, I would assume. So yeah, the chunky one.
Boy.
You guys see a figure approach from the nearby trees. Small, childlike, with these almost big, beady eyes, yellow, almost like an owl's. Kind of this weird, almost wrinkled, kind of grayish skin and green hair, and it's wearing kind of like this basic, almost like potato sack tunic, basically.
Goblet.
It looks at you guys. It doesn't look like a goblin,
Skinwalker.
and it goes. It's weird. It's almost like this child's voice. It goes, "Behold, visitors! Approach the Bonfire King, Favnok, and offer up your gifts." And he kind of gestures with this inflated pizzazz towards the large table and figure behind it in
no.
front of you.
Gifts?
I don't have any gifts.
Shit.
Uh-oh.
I threw my river water in the fire.
You have gifts for him, don't you?
Of
course.
course.
Oh.
We have Emmerich.
Come on, bro.
I thought you wanted to rescue him.
Just kidding. I don't know, like, does he want food? I asked the child.
We have plenty of food here, but perhaps if it's something he's never tasted.
Has he ever tasted draft root? Because I have that. I don't know what it is or what it does, but I have it.
Is it tasty?
I don't know.
You guys grab
It's
any
your gamble,
squeamies?
not mine. I don't think you guys grabbed any squeewees, no.
Shit.
It's probably pretty boring anyway for him.
It doesn't have to be food.
We have magic beans.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to kill him.
We could give him one, maybe? We have 5. Should we give it to him? We'll tell him that it's not to eat it. We'll tell him not to eat it.
Is here a booming voice. Oi! You stupid bucker! Are they coming or not?
Oh,
He kind of flinches for a moment and just kind of, yes, Yes, Bonfire King, they're on their way. Go, 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 go.
Okay. Okay. Go over.
Alrighty, you guys begin to approach the Bonfire King. And while you do that, dinner's ready, so I'm gonna go get food.
Okay.
Damn.
Think about what do you
Ready.
want to gift him.
Should we give him
Ophelia.
a bean?
You might
Yeah?
have to gift him your body.
You know, in any other scenario, but look at him!
He's probably just as.
He's
he
gonna
probably
crush me!
Don't mind.
I don't think I'm ready for this. In any other scenario, I'm telling you I would be down.
Well, what do we have in the bag of holding?
I'm telling you, there's not much. Okay, I've got sage, incense, horny incense, draft root, like I said, and I have no idea what draft root is. Okay, I forgot. And I've got a bunch of cooking spices, magic beans, cheese, those like water beads from the desert.
Wait, is the cheese from the tomb?
Yeah.
Ooh, true.
Dude, that's old as fuck. Maybe it's like.
Ooh, ancient, like.
I forget what
Old
the civilization was
civilization.
called. Dwemer
And-
cheese.
Yeah.
It was started with an A, I thought.
I think it was a D.
Anyways.
Hmm.
I got a sandstone ring, so I have a ring, like if you like rings.
The tomb was Adrahasis. That's what started with an A.
Oh.
Oh.
I don't remember what civilization it was, though. It was something with a D. Because I always make the joke that it was Dwemer, but not really. Because the dude was like a dwarf.
Dwendalian.
Dendalian.
Dwendalian, yes.
No, it can't be Dendalian.
I'm pretty
Why?
sure.
Because
I think it was.
Dwendalian is from Crit Roll.
Yeah, I think it was very close to crit roll.
Yeah.
But it was close.
Mm-hmm.
If only
This
the
man.
voice in the sky were here. Dredalian? Dredalian?
Dendalian, probably.
Yeah.
Daedalian.
I think it was Daedalian.
We'll just be like, this is
Preserved for centuries.
aged fine cheese from the Daedalian Empire. And he'll be like, okay.
He's a bonfire
Really?
king. Would he like alchemist fire?
Oh yeah, I have that written down too.
I got that on mine, so that might just be stuff we had in the bag of holding. I have a couple of tools, a hand mirror, some glass bottles, rations, a fist-size following spear trinket that I picked up from the
Oh.
bazaar,
That was cute.
my BB-8,
Yeah, yeah, BB-8.
and a pair of panties.
I need to get some snacks.
It is Daedalian, actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I have it here in my notes that Narza's last location on the previous Fellowship Day was pre-devouring 575 AG, approximately 2,000 years ago at the Daedalian Empire.
Cool.
Hype.
Well, get them drums going again. So, have you all decided on your gifts?
Yes.
Multiple gifts?
Do we each have to offer one individually?
Good question.
You don't know.
Oh no, it's probably that. Okay, here. Somebody, take some cheese. Somebody.
Take some cheese. I'm gonna magically scoot that bonfire over.
Witchcraft.
Alright. So, you guys, march your way up towards this massive monolithic statue. And the large, kind of long table set before it, just covered in all kinds of food. Like, something out of a king's feast, except, like, just the excess is immeasurable. You can see what looks to be a pile of all kinds of junk and trinkets and other such items. Behind where Vavnok sits in kind of his large, sort of, like a wicker throne. You can hear kind of hysterical laughter as you watch kind of like the twisted shadows dancing around, kind of reflecting, or not reflecting, but being cast on the statue. You can see upon closer inspection, the monolith has these massive, crudely etched in, like, grotesque and pornographic depictions. You can see like grapevines are curling around the monolith itself, and even the large wicker throne that Vavnok is sitting on. You can see this large creature, vaguely satyr-like, massive, bloated, but still maintaining some noticeable musculature. You can see kind of almost with like every movement he makes, his like large gut kind of jiggles, and sort of the conversation kind of quiets down as you guys begin to approach. He leans back, kind of slouching a bit, rests one arm on like an elbow on the arm of his wicker throne, and kind of rests his face against his hand, and just kind of waits with like this very lazy, uninterested expression.
Who's going first?
I'll go.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. I said, do we need to do each of us donate, or are we doing a group donation?
Well, you guys probably have better stuff than me, so if shit's gonna hit the fan, it'll be with my stuff first.
Well,
I
you
don't
guys
have
can
anything
take
to give
whatever you
either.
want from the bag of holding.
Cheese.
Okay, I give Taz some cheese. I give the sandstone ring to Valora. You have alchemist's fire, Sebastian?
Yeah, I got some stuff. I might be able to work with this.
Okay, we're ready. I'm gonna walk up, pull out the magic beans. I'm gonna say, greetings, Vavnok.
Ouch first.
Oh, okay, you weren't saying anything.
I was waiting for you to finish your running list of the toys you were giving up.
Okay, go first.
So, I'm gonna reach into my bag and I'm gonna pull out my pair of panties that I have, along with my flask of alchemist's fire.
Oh boy.
And, I'm going to be, O great King Vavnok, Bonfire King, I couldn't help but notice the wonderful adornments on your monolith, and thought that a token from the finest female in all of the human realm might fit it admirably, as well as some fire that can be summoned and will stick to anything it will touch.
Finest female of the human race, huh? And you somehow got her panties.
I made it here.
Make a persuasion check.
Come on. RP win. I'm gonna hold him up and be like, fit for a queen, no?
Well, to be quite honest, haven't seen many queen's panties in my day, but that lace looks rather nice. Go ahead, toss it in the pile, pull up a seat.
Yeah! Panties for the win! I will gently place them on the pile next to my flask and go and scoot on out of the way.
Alright, where would you
Laura.
like to sit at the
Laura.
table? Oh, you already picked.
You go next, Valora.
Oh, my teeny tiny little ring.
Listen, if I can make panties work, you can sell a ring.
No, I really can't.
Well, who's next?
I'll go.
Alrighty.
Step forward. Greetings, Bonfire King. I know you have much to eat and have seen much, but I bring cheese aged from a fallen empire hundreds of years ago. The Dendalians. Present a cheese wheel.
Oh! So, cheese from that, old place. Not bad at all. You know, I've had some cheese in my day. Just kind of slaps his belly a couple times. You just watch, like, it just makes waves in the belly. But I don't think I've ever had some Daedalian cheese. Sounds good to me. Pull up a seat, young satyr.
Is it all one way, or can we sit on this side of the table? Like this side thing.
Or this side.
I'll go check out what these lads are up to over here.
Okay.
Where did you get this ring?
From the desert.
The desert?
In the tomb?
The same place as the cheese? Was it from the tomb?
Yes? I don't know.
Okay.
Any day now before I get bored.
I guess I'll go next.
Just say
I'll
it's the
just-
Ring of Adrastus.
Okay. I'll just walk up and like bow a little bit and just kind of like set the ring on the table and say, this is a ring from the tomb of Adrastus.
Adrastus? He kind of like scratches his head a moment. I don't think I ever heard of him. Why would I care about a ring from Adrastus?
It's the same place the cheese came from.
Oh, no shit. Fine, toss it in.
Nice.
And the cheese really selling it. He's like, oh, fucking cheese, okay.
Dude, if the cheese is that good, fuck yeah.
Okay. Hi, Bonfire King. So, this may look like an ordinary bean, but actually it's a magic bean. If you were to toss it at the ground, it would explode violently. So don't eat it. But you can have someone else eat it if you wanted to kill them.
How many beans do you got?
Oh, just one.
Just the one?
Give him the bag.
Yeah, just one.
How am I supposed to tell if that bean is magic if you only got the one?
Okay, so I have 2.
2 beans.
2 beans.
I tossed down one of the beans. Oh wait, I don't know how big the explosion is gonna be. Oh well, I do it anyways.
Oh, Jesus.
Here, where am I? I toss it down right in front of me. Right? 2 spaces in front of me.
Okay. Give me a sec.
Give me a second.
Uh-oh.
Alrighty, bag of beans. So you toss 1 bean.
Yeah.
I need you to roll 1d100 for me.
Oh, shit.
What these beans do?
Oh my god.
They know. We found a wish bean.
Oh, shit.
51.
Bean of fey killing. We're in danger.
You drop the bean and it immediately kind of pops, like breaks almost in like a little mini explosion, just kind of scatters its little pieces about. And then 10 bright pink toads begin to crawl up out of the ground and are just kind of jaded.
Okay, so I thought it was just gonna explode, but it seems as though they all have random effects. It could be very entertaining for you at any time.
Just some random beans making some toads. I don't know.
Sorry, what? Cut out.
Cutting out.
Yeah, I noticed. Just some random beans that make some toads. I don't know how I feel about this. Cheese was a better gift than some beans and toads.
I'm gonna yell, throw another!
More beans!
More! What else do they do?
Okay. We throw another.
Oh my god. It's not gonna be any
Roll
beans
another
left.
D100.
It's not
84.
exciting, you know?
Okay.
Forecast calls for more beans!
6 eggs seem to spring forth from the ground.
No, this is shit.
Toads and eggs? Is that some kind of breakfast you weird mortals eat?
Okay, just hold on a sec.
In terms of, out of all of the dudes she slept with, she couldn't have at least stolen 1 pair of underwear.
I'm gonna just I don't know, start searching Heinrich's body.
He's on my back!
Bro!
Oh, you still holding him? Okay. Oh, I have something. I hold up the, like, clear beads, and I'm gonna say, these are magical beads from the desert people. If you're ever thirsty, this is, like, pure hydration.
I'm never thirsty.
You're never
Get some
thirsty?
ale. And then he just kind of claps his hands. It sound it's almost like it's actually pretty loud, like almost like claps of thunder. And you see another one of those weird little childlike things kind of rushes over, kind of gets up on their tippy toes, and pours like this oversized pitcher into this big drinking horn that he's got.
I have a question for you. Do you ever feel like you really just want to create an atmosphere of sexual energy?
You see this monolith, right? And kind of points to the basically cave painting porn behind.
Yeah.
You must not have been to the bonfires behind this.
Oh,
Oh. Okay. So let me show you something. This is my specialty, okay? I pull out some horny incense and I light it. And I'm gonna I walk up close to him and just like waft it under his nose.
Okay.
I'm just dangerous, I realize now.
Really gonna make me roleplay horny fat bastard?
oh. Ugly
You
bastard.
just hear a
Kevin.
thud under the table.
All the so word jumps a half inch.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, I like that candle.
Here! This one's for you.
Okay, you hand it to him, and he reaches out and grabs it, and it's the incense stick compared to like his hand is it's basically like a little like birthday candle. He's a pretty big dude. And as you do so, there's this look that comes over his face as he regards you for a split moment, but whatever it was, he seems to kind of shake it off, kind of his jowls moving when he does so, and takes the candle from you.
Is this
And
visible
sets
to
it
the
down.
rest of the party?
Yeah, I mean, he's right there if you're
Okay.
watching this face.
Can I get a vibe check?
Oh god.
Make an insight.
Oh my god. 26.
Proficient. Monk.
Sir, stand by for incoming DM.
Standing in my backyard waiting for the homing pigeon.
Anyways, he leans back, and you can see like among like all the like food, just all of it. It's like Thanksgiving on steroids, just access upon access. You got like turkeys and ham. It's like the stereotypical like super rich king and super poor people just stuffing his face. He's got like plenty of pastries there. He picks out this like one very large cupcake and just kind of like sticks it into the cupcake, lets it burn.
Incredible.
I improve.
Right, good enough. I'm gonna have something to do here in a moment. Join the table, I guess. Have some fun. Party! Welcome to the heart of the revel. And the drumming, which was kind of like this steady, kind of picks up pace and starts taking on a tune. And rather than just like this static beat going, it's like actual music begins to play rather than almost like this heartbeat of this party. And you can kind of hear like shouts for joy, and more kind of this maniacal laughter kind of all around you in this really offsetting cacophony, as you watch all the figures around the bonfires begin to just start like stuffing their faces full of food. Some of them are still like dancing, others suddenly have instruments in their hands that are just kind of like playing along in this one giant song that's just being played over this whole glade and forest. some of them start getting down and dirty, and you're like, oh, I don't know if I could eat while that's happening. It is
Excuse
a
me?
revel.
Dirty dancing.
Oh, they're not having sex.
No, they are.
Yeah, they're having sex. Like
my.
they're a ways off, but you're pretty sure there's actively at least 3 orgies nearby going.
Sensing nearby orders. I'm gonna yell across the table to Sebastian. Feed Heinrich!
Okay.
Emmerich.
Emmerich.
Orgy detected. That's Ophelia's sex sense.
I like to think that's her like conscience. That's the voice inside her head
Yeah.
that tells her to do stuff. It's in like the electron. Today I learned Ophelia's conscience is Daft Punk.
Genital contact nearby, 50 meters.
Better, faster, stronger. God.
I'm gonna turn to Taz and be like, should I talk to him? No. We need to ask him about Mulberry.
At this point, once the party, the revel truly begins, the Bonfire King Vavnot kind of, right, excuse me, folks, and just kind of slowly like pushes back the wicker throne a bit up against the monolith. He kind of stands up, and as he does, you can kind of hear like the low, almost like rumble from his footsteps as he gets his feet underneath him and begins walking around and making his way towards the other side of the monolith.
Uh-oh.
What's he doing?
He's going to the other side of the monolith. I
I'm
don't like what he
scared.
said earlier about the other side of the monolith.
Oh no.
What
He's gonna be busy.
what's this
You talk to
thing?
him.
Make a perception check. Right. It looks like a set of teeth, like fake teeth, like dentures, currently just resting inside of a bird cage. That's just been kind of like it's just kind of like hanging off the side of the wicker throne.
Interesting. Gonna slide some food towards my piggyback boy's mouth. It's kind of like, yes. Food is what we need to survive.
You begin spoon feeding him some food. As he's kind of slowly beginning to attempt to regain his strength. But yes, so the festivities have begun. The revel is currently in full swing. You've been invited as guests into the revel by the Bonfire King himself. The food before you is there to eat. You can see the knight before you in the red, just kind of from like the piles and piles, like the smattering of food before you, just kind of goes, and you see he takes out his side knife, from his belt, and just kind of goes and stabs it into what looks to be like one of 5 pork chops, and just kind of like picks it up and just starts eating it, like takes a bite out of it.
Can I kind of like side glance over perception of these people next to me and try and get a feel of like any markings that signify who they potentially are, or try and eavesdrop if they're talking?
Well, you don't get any perception necessarily. They're not talking. The 2 figures standing by, you can easily kind of gather must be some form of like bodyguard. But you can judge easily by appearance that they are Shadow Fae.
Oh,
They look a little spooky if I zoom in.
Who's this
Uh,
lady?
The guards are definitely a bit spoopy. They're like these large, reminiscent of kind of like the Alvin, but not quite. It's hulking figures with kind of this long, greasy black hair and eyes that kind of gape almost like they're just these empty black holes. But the figure they guard, female in appearance, refined, well dressed, kind of wearing this sort of deep navy blue kind of garb, with kind of a bit of a cape and like these almost like a necklace that links to these arm circlets around sort of her shoulders. You gather attached to the shirt that she's got. These long, kind of like nice pants that as it kind of tapers down her legs and whatnot, it kind of slowly the color bleeds to like this purple and out to her boots, or her like heeled boots, which are this bright red. All of their skin is almost like an alabaster white, a very stark contrast to their jet black hair. And she has what looks to be kind of a small pair of horns, which kind of jut back rather than starting on her forehead. They're kind of like right at the hairline and kind of go back and taper off and curve upwards towards the point. And they kind of are decorated with like the rings and stuff that are pierced through. All of them look to be gold. But she is like full on, like she's got this this plate and like these actual like utensils out, and is compared to the knight across the table from you, Taz, who's just like eating this pork chop one bite at a time from the tip of his knife. She's like, she looks like she's at home at a restaurant, like fine dining, basically. And you can see she's got kind of like a satchel that's draped across her shoulder.
So is she a tiefling?
She is not. She's Shadow Fae.
Oh, okay.
So, what do you guys decide to do?
I'm gonna lean over to her and be like, so any idea where Vavna?
Oh, Vavna? He's, most likely relieving himself.
Ah. You here on important business, or just...
I'm here on business. What about yourself?
business as well?
Business or pleasure?
Seems to be quite a lot of business that has to be doing with Vavnok. I'm quite curious. You've come with quite the group, Sato.
Yes. Well, I guess we'll see the nature of our business upon return of our host.
So we shall enjoy the revel.
Let's try to enjoy it with a bit more refinement than our friend across the table.
Meanwhile, he just kind of like takes another bite and then kind of tugs at it and doesn't quite come free, and he just kind of like rips it and chews. Just kind of looks over his shoulder at you, Sebastian, and goes, "Is good."
It looks so. So what brings you to Vavnox? I'm gonna try and, share in the meal and keep a smile on my face.
Just kind of, oh, pay tribute, diplomacy. You want some? And kind of offers the same pork chop he's been biting off of.
You know what? Yeah, that's very kind of you. Thank you. I'll just kind of like take my knife and like try and like get a piece of it.
you try to do so, it's not really working out well. It's very awkward, and he almost loses his grip on it because it's just the utensils knocking. It's like Fred, just take a bite. It's no big deal.
All right, I'll take a bite. I'll be like, yo, the flag looks familiar. I haven't seen it before. Who do you serve?
Huh. I'd be surprised if you'd ever seen it before. Don't get many humans in this part of the universe, you know.
I'll look around and be like, yeah, I can figure that.
Though there seems to be an influx as of late. And he kind of gestures to one of the nearby bonfires. You can see, again, there's a mixture of all these creatures that are at the bonfires, but there appeared to be kind of the one that he gestures towards. It's almost made up entirely out of human males, and you can see kind of dancing along. They have sort of bits and pieces. They're in various states of kind of undress, and the uniforms look similar to Emmerich's.
Must have been a big portal over in Aesir.
It was pretty weird, you know. Never took the old purple eyes for planar travelers.
Yeah, I'll point to Emmerich. I'm like, well, you can see why. Can't hold their own.
Just kind of, my legs hurt so much.
My legs.
My leg! Oh, the Stoffel hoppers.
My legs.
My feet are swollen to the size of Hassenpfeffers.
I can't feel my footsies.
I'll be like, so you ever see that pale number across the table? And I'll point towards the Shadow Fae across the way.
Is Shiala, Shadow Fae. Pay no attention.
Oh, really? She seemed, you know, decent from a distance.
Yeah, from a distance. I can tell you friends, they look much nicer up close. And that's how they get you.
Would you say it's worth it, though? Man to man.
Man to man! Kind of lets the pork drop droop for a moment, and you just kind of like, both of you are just kind of there, like, cocking your heads to the side, taking a look at her as she and Taz are conversing. You know, if I didn't care about going back home to see my family, I'd probably do it.
Good man, good man.
Would definitely schmutz.
Are those Vagnox teeth on his chair? These look like quite a set of
His
jumpers.
No, it's not his teeth. It's somebody else's. I wouldn't worry about it too. And then you hear a voice from the bird cage go, "Well, I'll be entirely rude of you, Red Sun. It's stupid teeth. Pay no attention.
Yo.
I'm right here."
Those teeth are talking.
Yeah, they do that. Like I said, pay no attention.
Okay.
Gonna hear a psst, psst. You there? You. Yes, you. Psst.
I'm gonna point at myself with the turkey leg and like look at the cage.
Yes. Yes, the teeth in the cage are talking to you.
I'm gonna turn to Blue. I'm like, a lot of the teeth in the cage are talking to me.
I noticed.
Of course she
Yeah.
notices. She's upset.
Yes. Cage teeth.
For the love of learning, I just kind of starts chattering to himself for a moment. Kind of catch a couple of odd bits and pieces of his mumbling, like, just in a language you can't quite understand. Are you going to come over and investigate the weird talking teeth in a bird cage or not?
Well, sounds like a good enough reason for me. I'll get up and go over and look at him, I guess.
Ah, gods above and gods below. To think I'd have to actually nudge somebody to come talk to me. I'm gonna walk by the Red Knight and just kind of like, friends, don't believe anything that he says. He is trouble, that one. Why do you think he and Kate?
I'll nod. I'm like, thank you for the advice, my dear friend. You, enjoy your meat.
Okay, you approach and you are just further reminded of just how massive Vavnok is as a creature. Just looking at the wicker throne, you're gonna have to like look up and crane your neck a little bit in order to see the bird cage. It has kind of like a clear bottom. It's just like all of it is just just bars, and then it's got like the little like, you know, canary swing on it that the teeth are like sitting on, and you watch the teeth kind of like move a little bit and then like face you and almost like angle downwards as if they're looking at you.
Oh,
So, friend, what's your exit strategy? How are you going to get us out of here?
there's an us.
Well, yes, of course. Why else would you be here risking your lives and your well-being, huh?
I was told Vavnok had something of mulberries, and...
Oh, no, absolutely not. Don't tell me you're trying to find mulberry.
I'm trying to find more.
What did I just say? Oh. All the intelligent creatures in the upper planes and below, which had...
Well, have fun in your cage, jackass. Turn away.
You won't be able to find her without me.
Stop. Go on.
I know things, such as where to find her.
Why should I believe you? My red friend back there says you're a liar.
He didn't say that I was a liar. He said simply don't believe what I had to say.
You're right, those are two totally different things.
He could be trying to mislead you. Perhaps he knows that I know something important.
Oh yeah, well if you know so much, then who does he serve?
You, Red Sun, are you serious? You saw the banner, right?
I saw it, I couldn't quite recall. You know, not every day I see fairy banners.
Oh my gods, how did you survive this long in the Feywild? He serves Baba Yaga. He's one of the three horsemen. The old crone, the big bad witch.
Oh, I thought I was right then. Excellent.
Three horsemen.
The three crones. Past, present, future, you know. No.
Mother, maiden, crown.
No, it's just, there's just the one.
Well,
Do you have any other stupid questions?
I'm gonna look at the Shadow Fae and like, what's she here for?
What is she? She's Shadow Fae.
No, what is she here for? I know she's Shadow.
I don't know. She only just got here. Perhaps we'll find out when Vavnok returns and she makes her pitch to him.
Alright.
I'm not some all-seeing pair of dentures. I just happen to know lots of very important things about lots of very important stuff. Primarily magical in nature. But I'm a big fan of history as well.
Well, perhaps you could provide me with the history of how you wound up in a cage?
I don't want to talk about it.
Well, unless I know, I'm not really inclined to get you out unless you did something that deserved to put you there. Because taking things off of Vavnok's chair seems an excellent way to die.
Well, obviously don't do it while he's here. But, I mean, come on. What could a pair of dentures possibly do to get himself locked into a cage? Couldn't have been that bad, right? I mean, you do see the pile of junk that's right behind his chair, correctly? You see all of that tribute. Yes?
I see it.
Right? You have eyes. I don't have physical eyes. You do.
That leaves me with more questions than answers, but yes, I see it.
Clearly, he likes collecting stuff. And to a brutish bonfire king such as he, clearly, I look like stuff.
Say I were to get you down, would you know a way to get away?
I mean, I could potentially think of a few things.
I'll admit I'm pretty fast, but I don't know if it'll be enough.
Well, how about this? You talk to your compatriots, let them know that the teeth in the birdcage know how to find Madame Mulberry, and we'll take it from there.
Makes sense.
When you
to
hear
me.
like a... When he's like, oh, he's coming!
I'm gonna skedaddle on back to my seat.
Alrighty. Vavnok returns, and he looks like he's got kind of a bit of a glow about him, and not from the bonfire light. With a very satisfied expression on his very pudgy face, he sits down on the wicker throne. He's gonna, oh, that was nice. So, the revelry, how's it going? Kind of looks at you all expectantly, and Red Sun goes, Bonfire King, on behalf of Baba Yaga, I am pleased and honored to have been chosen to come to your revelry. Their food is exquisite and absolutely fulfilling, and the music is probably the best that I've ever heard. It beats that of their mother's nursery rhyme, and even better than the lullabies that I heard back in my homeland. He kind of stumbles over it a little bit, partially because of kind of the clipped common, but he says so, and the Bonfire King goes, ha ha ha, glad to hear it. Now, what about the rest of you lot?
Just, smelling the incense.
Beats
Enjoying
the shit out of the
food.
immortal realm, that's for sure.
Oh, jeez. Okay. I'm gonna need you all to make persuasion rolls.
Uh-oh.
He does not seem pleased at your attempts at flattery.
There's the 30.
Oh!
Hey, there it is.
Can that please make up for my roll?
Damn.
I'd basically just be like, oh, I was born and raised in the Feywild, but never have I seen an exquisite party such as this. And just really lay it on him.
That's what I like to hear.
Just gonna tilt my
Well-
head back with a mouthful of food.
I'll drink to that, and then he just grabs his drinking horn and just right then and there, drops it down, claps his hands, and then another one of those little creatures comes over and hurriedly fills it back up.
Dude, I wish that would happen to me. I'm gonna try it. I drink my drink and then like try to slam it on the table.
You slam it on the table.
Yeah.
Okay, nothing happens.
Aww.
He clapped. He didn't just slam
Oh.
it on the table.
I clap and look around expectantly.
See, one of the little like creatures kind of comes over. It's kind of like, okay, and like, not sure if he's supposed to do this or not, but just comes over and fills it up for you anyway.
Aw, thank you, little girl.
My name's Jack.
I'm 278 years old.
Well, how did you know?
The Feywild's so weird. I'm gonna get up and come over to the other side of the table, and pretend like I'm, like, looking after Einrich. I mean, I'm actually looking after him, like trying to like help him drink something. Like, guys,
Okay.
what do we do?
The teeth in the cage can talk.
Okay, that's cool. Is that around there?
They were very weird, and it didn't seem to like me very much, but it says it knows where mulberries.
Okay, well, Laura, you know what to do. What do you do best?
What do you mean? I know what to do.
Girl. Stealing.
This red guy over here said not to trust the teeth.
The teeth pointed out that he also didn't say don't trust them, he just said that they cause problems.
You're. Hey, what are we whispering about over here? And he kind of like leans back.
Ah.
They were just so impressed that you worked for Baba Yaga.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yep, the teeth said that. Don't believe the teeth.
Isn't she evil?
Record scratch.
What?
No? She's not.
I would refrain from using such words when it comes to the fit in general.
Oh. So
The
what
fair
are
folk
you?
are how do you say? Complicated.
Okay. So she doesn't eat babies.
Oh no, she definitely eats babies here and there, but
Who does?
Awesome.
Huh.
Okay.
I mean, you know how the Feywild is, right?
Yeah, I like the fox. guy.
Fairies.
Babies. We like to eat babies. Ha ha ha. Yeah. Well, I don't approve of it. Okay.
Calm,
Oh, there, ballbuster.
calm
Damn,
down.
they eat one
He's
baby.
not the one eating the babies.
You don't eat babies, do you? I point at him angrily.
No, I don't. You can't really see his expression because of the helmet, but he almost takes on like this like regretful air to him. I don't want to talk about it.
I'll bet he procures the babies.
Oh, do you have some regrets?
No,
on
you
your
think I
part?
procured the babies? She She's getting the babies on her own.
Oh,
Oh, so do you want to confess anything to me? Because, like, I'm a cleric. I can do that for you.
You are a holy woman.
All right.
Yes, I
well,
am.
You can have your session with him. I'll just go see how Kaz is doing.
If there's anything that you feel especially guilty about, just tell me, and I'm sure that I can make you feel better.
Well, there was this one time when I was very little, and I was playing with my and I kind of accidentally pushed Dimitri, and he fell off the bridge.
You feel where?
He fell in the river, and they never found him after that. I never got to play with Dimitri ever again.
You know, I'm sure that
It's a
whoever.
joke. Like I thought he would be fine. He told me he could swim.
Well,
sure.
you know, if he couldn't swim, or he lied to you, whose fault is it really?
Dad, he was asking.
You know what? You're a good cleric. I like this. I like you. You're a good holy woman. And he kind of starts like confessing more things that are like somewhat mundane, but also like equally kind of like this
Equally
one time.
monotonous.
This one time, Babushka was like making some pie, like meat pies or something, and leaving them out on the windowsill. Flew off, and he happened to take one of them and felt really bad and guilty about it. Like they're like mundane and kind of innocent, but also there's a few other ones where you're like the river, and you're like, oh. And I have to admit, I don't procure babies. I don't eat babies. But I did try one. She said it was good. I wondered why she ate them so much, so I said, you know what, why not? It couldn't hurt to at least try a little bit, you know? I'm ashamed to say, but it's good. Maybe a little too tender for my tastes. I like my meat a bit more rough. It kind of gestures to the pork chop. But I never did it again, and I felt really bad about it.
Ophelia's like trying not to like throw up all the stuff she just drank and ate. She's just like,
It was long time ago.
you know, to make up for it, you're gonna need to have lots of children. It's what Nyala would want to make up for that life that was lost. Just like have a baby. I'm
I'll
pretty
be
sure that's her
honest,
solution to most things.
I'm not really sure if I could have any kids.
What? Why?
Oh, being Baba Yaga's horseman and all that.
Oh, so you're like some like creature of darkness and stuff.
Well, I wouldn't say darkness, but
Why are you going around offending
Yes?
everyone? Damn. It's like, oh, so you work for the evil god and you're an evil son of a bitch, huh? Fuck you.
well,
Ew.
holy woman, I have to say that this has been a wonderful experience for me. This is what did you call it?
Confessing?
Confessing, yes, confessing. Thank you for having me confessing to you. Honestly, I feel like a new horseman with all this weight off my shoulders.
Honestly, I try to live my life every day by just confessing everything that happens all the time.
It's just,
Feels really good.
it's just your life, just confessing all the time.
Yeah.
I have much admiration for you. I don't think I could do that. I can't be confessing all the time.
Well, it helps if you have someone that you trust and learn to forgive yourself and to forgive others around you. And you should forgive yourself for all these things that you've done, because clearly, if you can have the understanding to feel bad about it, that means that You should be forgiven, in my opinion.
He just kind of leans back like he's just had this epiphany, like his mind's been blown. He's like, oh, you know what? That has been what is wrong with me. All this time, I thought I was worried about the forgiveness of people long dead from my life. And really, Red Sun just needed to forgive Red Sun. Thank you, holy woman.
Big breakthroughs at the revelry table in the middle of like 16 orgies.
Okay, Taz and Sebastian, what are you doing?
I'm gonna come up to Taz and like take a seat down next to him and like pretend like into my cup and like the teeth on his chair talk.
Anything interesting?
He says he knows where to find Mulberry.
It's so weird the way you're talking.
I'm talking
He's
into my
trying
cup.
to cover it.
Oh, that is interesting. So, you think that's the item Pops was talking about?
If I know Potts, he would want us to steal something, and that definitely doesn't look like it wants to be stolen, so probably.
Not. Maybe if we can, I'll whisper. Keep him drinking. He goes to the bathroom again, and we get it and get out of here.
I don't think he went to the bathroom last time.
Well, maybe he'll have to then.
That's a fair point.
Always be after sex.
What's this lady's deal? Like pointing the shit at the end of the table.
It's kind of shrug. Business?
Oh, pleasure.
Well, the way I look at it, you know. Oh, am I right?
I'm over here.
You approach her, and as you're walking over, she turns and looks at you and like raises an eyebrow as if she's heard everything that was just said.
Good day. Sebastian.
Good day.
She...
Yes.
What brings you here?
Business and yourself?
You could say the same. Though not entirely.
What sort of business?
Ha ha ha. You know.
The business kind?
Yes, that one. You, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're Shadow Bay, yes?
Astute observation.
You must give me credit, I am human. Not many of my kind see many of your kind.
Well, fair. Not many see my kind and live.
I think I might be one of the few that would.
We could certainly test that theory. She kind of gets like this little wicked glint in her eye.
So, is this secret business, or is this common fairy knowledge that you're on?
It's, as you put it, secret business.
Coming to petition Vavnok for something, I'd imagine.
Sure.
Guys, I'm striking out hard here.
She's a tough one.
Tough not to crack. Well, should you require a extra hand this evening, please just don't feel afraid to reach out.
Okay.
She's scary.
Can I give you a thumbs up?
Why didn't you inspire?
Yeah, bro, where's my bardic backup? Need my
Honestly,
wingman.
that's like
Shit.
it's like a real like example of bardic inspiration. It's like when your bros hype you up to go talk to a girl. Like bardic inspiration.
They're like they're right next to you guys as you're trying to have a conversation, going, "Do it, do it, do it,
Yeah.
do it." Psst. Hey, you there? Valora, Ophelia, you can hear a voice, rather refined, coming from nearby.
Is it the
It's the
teeth?
teeth?
It comes from that direction.
What?
Shala moves over, gets the attention of Vavnok, who kind of like leans down from his wicker chair and just kind of lets her whisper into his.
He's distracted. Go, Muller.
Ophelia,
Still.
I don't notice.
No, he won't notice. Stealthy. Oh. Just tell the teeth to.
Psst. Hurry up. Psst.
Oh my goodness. I'll sneak over there.
The Eath
I'll sneak over towards the teeth.
The teeth.
Make a stealth check.
Yeah.
So dumb.
27. 27.
So dumb.
She really can't do bad.
Can we see her going like towards or like where the teeth were?
Hell no. Got 27.
You watch as Valora, who was over here, kind of walks by, and she passes behind Ophelia, Emmerich, and Red Sun, and then you wait, and she doesn't. You don't see her continue walking behind them. She's just gone.
What the fuck?
Hot.
Out of the side. Out of the side. Love me a woman who can
Hey.
disappear.
Hey, let me out.
How high up is he? Like in the cage?
I want to say like 10 feet in the air.
So I can't reach him?
Not from where you're standing.
Yeah. Can I climb up there?
You can certainly try.
Great. I will attempt that. That's not gonna
Roll
go
your
well.
athletics.
That's not gonna go well.
You got this.
Oh, so I was the only one that I told them about the teeth, so.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw her walk like this way. And then she disappeared.
13.
Okay. You kind of. I mean, what are you trying to climb up?
What is he on?
He's on a very
like,
large
hanging
wicker
on the
throne.
chair. And that rock is very close.
It's pretty close. There's like assume that there's like large piles of like junk and trinkets and other items kind of there.
Ugh. I guess I'll try to go up the rock. I don't really want to climb his chair while he's sitting in it.
Okay, you begin trying to climb up the monolith. The sheer kind of flat surface of the large stone you find difficult to find purchase on, and you get up a little ways and then kind of slide and scrape down a bit, not being able to find it.
Just look at the teeth and be like, can't reach you.
So find something else.
So we can't see her messing with the. Or could I?
No, not really. She stealthed, and also, I mean, like line of sight.
Yeah, big chungus thrown in the wind.
Yeah. At this time, the two of you can see as Shiala's whispering to Vavnok. She reaches into her satchel and pulls out what looks to be a scroll, kind of unfurls it and hands it to him.
Is he still like looking at it?
He's looking at, well, kind of. He's kind of looking as the incense continues to burn. He's looking more at her than he is at the scroll.
Uh-oh.
What have you done?
I'm gonna try to climb up the chair.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Are you trying to be sneaky?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start like frantically like scanning around for Valor.
Roll your stealth and then do your acrobatic.
Can I prepare an action? Oh
Okay.
shit!
For what?
Natural
You don't know
20
what you're doing.
stealth. Natural 20 stealth, so a
Damn.
total of 33.
Woo!
And, and then athletics to climb the thing, or...
Oh my gosh, a 33.
Oh, that's a
Sir.
roll.
Did you say athletics to climb it?
Yeah.
Okay. That's 14.
Okay. The wicker chair is much easier to climb. And having stealth, you know through training and practice how to carefully scale something. It's not the fastest way to climb up an object, but it is the quietest way. And with Vavnok seemingly not confused, sorry, distracted, you can reach up to the bird cage relatively soon. At this point, Taz and Sebastian, you could become aware of this figure that's on the wicker chair, kind of reaching for the bird cage. Valora, as you climb up and kind of get level with it, the teeth kind of shift and change to like almost look at you. And you do so, and it just kind of like chatters nervously for a moment, but stops. And then you look, and the door to the cage seems to be locked.
Oh my god. I'm just gonna be like, okay, taking a drink, then I like see Valor like.
I'll try to very quietly pick the lock.
You have thieves' tools, right?
Yeah.
Trying to remember how that interacts.
Also, at this point of seeing Valora, once you figure out what you were looking up, I would stand up and be like, "Oh, Vavnok, I forgot the ballad I prepared for you," and I would just try and sing a little jingle of how great he is and how voluptuous.
Voluptuous.
How rich.
Whoops.
Just how rich and great he is. A true Fey King.
Shoddy thick.
Chowdy.
I'm going to.
Alrighty.
When I see that, I'm gonna
As you
surreptitiously.
do so, he kind of turns and then gives you like a big toothy smile and a nod, and just is entirely focused on this attention and praise that you're giving him. And Shiala kind of like gives you a side eye and a bit of a scowl. Go ahead and roll performance for me.
Jesus Christ. Natural 2, baby. 15.
Oh my God.
I'm so bad at performing, but it's like
It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter.
1,000.
Okay, so
Water be good.
doing the sleight of hand, I think you can add your proficiency bonus to it.
My thieves' tools, and I have like expertise for them.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how that stacks, or if it even stacks at all.
Proficiency with these tools lets you add your proficiency bonus to any ability checks you make to disarm traps.
No,
or
I have the number. I have the number. I just don't remember where I got the number.
Because having expertise in something, does that mean you already add your proficiency bonus to it?
I think
It doubles the proficiency, and then it's my dex modifier.
So it would be that, and you would still add your proficiency bonus to it with the tool.
By the
Man, I wish I knew what kind of memes JB and Maddie were sending each other.
What the fuck?
Damn.
How do you know?
So I think the
You
number
guys
is
make
13.
faces.
I'll give you an example. The way you said natural 2, baby was so Jersey.
It sounded like a Jersey accent.
Oh, you're okay.
Ooh, baby.
Wait, did he pee or have sex? I said maybe both with a devil face.
Okay, so
¿Por qué no las dos? And then it's that Roblox with the sombrero song playing.
Poco Loco.
Just like, yes! As Chaz just has like the upside down smile upon realizing.
I think the
Alright,
number is
so-
13.
What? You're what? Plus 13?
Plus 13?
I think it's dex.
For
Like it's, I think it's a dex.
sleight of
roll.
hand uses your dex.
Yeah.
And then having expertise in it should.
Yeah, because expertise would double the proficiency. It would be 8 and then
Plus your
13.
dex.
So I think it's plus 13.
Okay. Alright, go for it.
I'm going to,
I think.
upon seeing Valora, just surreptitiously take like a big scoop of like mashed potatoes or something, just like in my hand, and just keep it there.
You're just
Poco Loco.
scooping mashed
Just fondling
Potatoes?
mashed potatoes.
Yeah, just gonna keep a big scoop of potatoes in my hand.
Getting
Interesting.
ready.
Alrighty then.
You know, I keep that thing
Uh,
on me.
I'm not gonna judge. You successfully managed to open up the lock, open up the door. As soon as you do so, the teeth float on over to you and land on your shoulder.
I want to put them under my cloak.
Ew, wait, what? How
Okay.
big are they?
I don't know, but I don't want him just hovering on my
I mean,
shoulder.
like, they're like the size of like normal dentures.
Oh, I thought they were like really big.
Giant.
But
I'm gonna put him in one of one of my
closer
pockets
inspection-
inside the cloak.
Okay, he's like, oh yes, freedom, finally. It's so dark. What happened?
Shh. And then I'll quietly like close the gate and then like climb back down as quietly as possible.
And you climb back down. Alrighty. The teeth are now with you.
Okay, and then I'll try to like sneak back over to my seat. Yeah.
You can do that easily enough.
Do-do-do-do.
And as she sits, I'll finish and give a bow to him, and then sit again.
Alrighty.
Yay, Tess! He did so good. I'm like, I have a camcorder out, recording it, like a
It's
mom.
like your dance recital.
This is my son performing for his family.
Good job, buddy.
The date is July 12th, 1999. He just turned 3. Wave high, sweetheart.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I think it's time to go.
Oh, okay.
At this point, Shiala reattempts to try and get Vavnok's attention with little, not as much a success as she probably would. But yeah, he seems to appreciate the performance. The other little like servant creatures kind of like, yeah, like clap little minions.
I'm gonna be like, wow, what a good party. Wow, I'm sleepy. Right, guys?
Oh, yes, positively bushed. I'd go see what's going on with those other bonfires.
Yeah. Come on, Imric. Imric?
Emmerich?
Emmerich.
Emmerich.
I'm just gonna write.
Come on, Stan.
Oh, Emmerich. How's he looking, by the way?
I mean, it's only been maybe like an hour or so since you've saved him from perpetual dancing. I mean, he's doing a little bit better. He's got some food in him. He's got some drink in him. He's still wobbly on his feet, and very much so a liability to some degree. But I mean, he's doing better than he was.
Okay.
Oh, good luck out there,
I'm
Emmerich.
gonna. Emmerich, do you have family?
Yeah, my parents and my two younger brothers.
Okay. Don't worry. Everything's fine, okay?
Mein Mutter and mein Vater.
Hello, Mutter.
Und mein two Bruder.
Hello, Vater.
So do we just leave? Do we say
I don't
goodbye?
know. Let's try. Let's try to leave.
Give him the old
Just
Welsh
like,
goodbye.
well,
and just-
Vavnok, it was a pleasure at your revelry, but we must retire.
Who are you saying
Goodbye.
this to?
The Vavnok.
Oh. What? Leaving so soon? The festivities have just begun.
You seem to have some very important business going on. I wouldn't
Uh.
want to interrupt. And
Oh, customs be damned. Shiola, you're costing me guests.
I'm just gonna piss her off so much.
God damn.
Yeah, like she gives you guys like a death glare. She goes, Most noble bonfire king, I assure you this is important business. We must find her location. It is an absolute priority, and you're the only one that can help us. He's like, right, fine.
Find who?
You've given enough tributes. It's none of your concern. You're going to leave, correct?
Perhaps we could help.
We might have run into them
Uh,
on the way here. You never know. Just curious.
I assure you, you haven't. The offer's appreciated, but not needed. Right, you gave enough tribute. I suppose I can help.
Oh God.
El King better be paying more next time.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit.
They begin
Go.
Read their
discussing.
lips. Read their lips.
Read
Oh
my
yeah, I can read
lips.
their lips.
No more taxes.
I really can. I can read their lips. Unless they're speaking a different language. It might-
Are you actively trying to read their lips?
Yes.
Okay. Un momento, por favor.
Still got those potatoes in hand. I'm ready.
The potatoes.
Just a big old. Like,
Okay. Do you, I'm kind of reading their lips a moment. You see Shiala, we provided the tributes. These are the requests of the Earl King. finding her is of the utmost priority. You have the information. And he goes, right, sure, okay. But he better pay more next time. I'm tired of being an informant. It won't be long until, you ask me to divulge something that I'm gonna regret, and the Pumpkin King's gonna come after me for. And she goes, we reassure you, that isn't going to happen, and if it does, then we'll provide you protection. Now, please, where can we find this Madame Mulberry?
Go! The Kill Bill sirens.
And as you guys had said you're leaving and are still standing there,
Oh, yeah, let's go.
the Bonfire King's about to, reply, but she kind of wait and looks at you guys and just kind of folds her arms and waits for you to walk away.
Yep,
I
let's go.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
As you guys are kind of walking by, Valor, you can hear kind of within your cloak just
Just elbow the pocket, like shush.
Shh.
Let's go. Let's get out of here.
all right. You guys begin walking away.
What, the 12? On the prowl wall?
Alrighty, where do you go?
Away. Just
Um,
away from all the bonfires.
I'm gonna pull out my compass and try and continue south.
Okay.
Which one? Is it a pink one?
Uh,
So I'm trying to remember which one you're talking about.
so you're pulling out your compass. Go ahead and make a survival check for me.
Average.
You guys make your way out into the surrounding forest, away from the glade. There's still bonfires around that constant drum beating. It's quicker now, and the music that was playing before, primarily of drums, is gone. It's just that that's going. You think you went back the way you came, but you're not 100% certain. And after a few minutes of walking in this direction, Valor, once again, you hear.
Are we away? Away.
You're away from the glade. You're away from the heart of the revel.
Alright. I'll open up my jacket and pull the teeth out of the pocket.
Ah,
And set them on my
kindly.
shoulder. Sorry about that. Had to sneak you out of there.
I was trying to give you directions, but whatever.
Well, didn't want anyone to see you had escaped.
Oh, and bother. Fine. You're right. Still, though, which way did we go? Are we going the right way? I don't think we're going the right way. Where? I don't actually have eyes. Where are we?
We're still in the bonfire forest. I think we're heading south. It's hard to tell with my compass. It's a little screwy.
Oh dear, this is not nearly far enough away. If he notices, we might be in a bit of trouble.
Hmm.
Well, back in the pocket you go.
No, wait! Please. We're far enough away. He can't hear me.
Uh-huh.
What I'm
Sure.
saying is, if he notices that I'm gone, we might be in a spot of trouble.
Alright, let's keep moving then.
Yes, but let's keep moving in another direction.
North, perhaps?
You mean back
well,
the way we came?
if we keep heading over, well, which way were you heading?
Trying
South.
to find Mulberry.
Then let's head south. If we head north, then it's just gonna take us longer to get to Winter.
All right then.
You do know where south is, right?
Southeast.
That was the way we were going.
Oh, this is hopeless.
Do you know which way south is?
Of course I know where south is.
Then lead the way.
Very well. It kind of floats up from your shoulder, kind of goes out a ways, and kind of floats in one direction, stops kind of, and floats over to another direction. Right, it's this way, and kind of turns the complete opposite direction, and just starts heading in that direction, heading kind of towards back to where the heart of the revel was.
That's back to the party. We don't want to
Yep,
go that way.
I'm aware. We're going around it.
Didn't you say if he notices you're gone, we're gonna be in trouble?
Yes, let's make haste. Come on. What's your excuse? You have legs and I don't.
I sure hope he has some information, Valar, because he's kind of annoying.
Yeah, well, Sebastian's the one who insisted we steal him.
I just said he knew where Mulberry was. I didn't say steal him. Ophelia said steal him.
Yeah, well.
Let's go.
I suggest that we steal a lot of things, really.
Very morally apt cleric.
I'm lawful good. Shut the fuck up.
Which laws, though?
Well, I must be right back. The party calls.
Oh, the party. I thought you said party.
We know we're heading towards the heart of the revel again.
As he's leading the way, flying as a pair of teeth, he kind of guides you guys around the heart of the revel and sort of reorients you back towards the south. He begins leading you through bonfire. Oh, we'll go ahead and wait for JB. Alrighty. The teeth have led you guys around the heart of the revelry, and you're continuing on through Yule Forest of Bonfires. During this time, the dentures begin kind of moving a little erratically. Like, he's still leading you in a direction, but he starts like wandering off to sides like trees and like roots and bushes.
You okay there?
Yes. I'm fine. Just searching for something.
What are you looking for?
Oh, damn it to the nine hells! Where is it?
Do you have a name?
I'm sorry. What?
Do you have a name? Something we can call you?
Well, really, just call me Denture.
You just call me dentures.
You know, it's what
Denny?
I am.
You call him Denny.
What about Chompy?
Sure, I don't know how I feel about.
I like Denny.
Denny.
We come up with some great
What the
names.
fuck is up, Denny's?
What the fuck is up?
Denny's parking lot.
What are you looking for?
Well, there's supposed to be some shadow road nearby. I didn't quite catch that detail. You know, on hindsight's always 20/20. Perhaps if we'd waited before leaving the party, we could have well, unfortunate circumstances. Guess we'll just have to take the long way.
But you do know how to get there.
Yes, I know how to get there. I just, thought I knew a way to get there faster. How many days do you have planned or reserved to stay in the Feywild? Well, days being wherever it is, you came from.
I think we'd like to be out of here as quickly as possible.
How quickly as possible?
Yesterday, preferably.
Oh, well, it's a bit too late for that.
So, how do you know Mulberry, though?
I've had experiences with her. Let's just say I'm an item that's passed through a lot of hags' hands or mouths, really.
Oh my gosh. That makes so much sense.
What?
Oh, by the way, that Shadowfae is also looking for Mulberry.
Oh, well, is she now? Curious. Well, hopefully we get there before she does.
Do you know about someone coming under Mulberry's service recently, or how recently were you around Mulberry?
Well, somewhat recently. I mean, not. I haven't heard of any new person being some. I haven't heard of any new slaves. But then again, like, who remembers slaves? Am I right?
Oh.
Sebastian looks at Teeth, gets ready to smash.
I loved her.
She's missing, supposedly.
Who is she?
Mulberry's missing.
Who, Mulberry?
That's what.
Nah, well, she's not missing. It's more like she gets found whenever she wants to be.
Well, and you pretty sure you know where to look then?
I'm quite confident, but yes, it wouldn't hurt to have a couple extra pairs of hands, seeing as I have none. If you just so happen to find perhaps some like large doorway of inky black darkness just somewhere, do be sure to let me know.
Of course.
Why?
Oh, that's our shortcut. Otherwise, we're gonna have to spend the next several days on the road.
What kind of a shortcut is this?
Oh, it's a shadow road.
What does that mean?
It's how versed are you on the planes and planet?
Not at all.
Right. Explain it like they were a child. Explain it like they were a child.
This bitch.
Say.
Kind of like the teeth.
This is rather difficult. You'd think having to explain things to Madame Mulberry all the time, I'd be really good at this, but I think, honestly, each time I've just disdained her for making me explain in such a childish fashion. Look, it's a shortcut. That's all you need to know. It goes through the Shadowfell. That's it.
Through the Shadowfell.
Yes. You know what the Shadowfell is? I thought you went versed in planar travel.
No, I don't know what that is.
Realm of Nightmares, terrible place that mothers tell their children that bad people will take them if they don't go to bed.
Yes, something like that.
Great.
Lovely, and you want to go through there?
Nobody truly wants to go through the Shadow Roads, but you take what you can get. It sure does beat, having to walk for the next 3-4 days. Not quite sure how close Vavnark is to winter. It's. Have you ever heard of the game called Minecraft? It's like taking another road.
Yes, I know that one.
Oh my god.
The Feywild is a reflection of the material plane, and the Shadowfell is a reflection as well. The Feywild is more of a positive, heightened senses sort of deal. You're not happy or joyful. You're not sad. You're depressed and want to kill yourself. In the Shadowfell, it's like, you know, muted and depressing and grey and sad. And the longer you spend there, the more, you know, you get influenced by the plane itself. So a lot of nasty things call home, but dipping into the Shadowfell really speeds things up for some people.
Well, that's good.
Especially if you're traveling through the Feywild.
Time is of the essence.
Well, like I said, if you happen to find a large door of inky dark blackness, do let me know.
I'll be on the lookout.
Do I see a large door of inky dark blackness?
Yes, it's right. No.
Dang.
I'm gonna look for one too.
Yeah, I'm staying on the lookout.
Why did you say it like that? I want to look for one too.
Hey.
Ooh, I want the
Don't
darkness.
leave me out, guys.
Who all is looking for it?
I want to look for one too.
I didn't assume it would be like right here, so.
Well, I'm stay on the lookout.
Wow.
We're all pretty consistent, at least. Consistently shit.
Ah.
That's a new party name.
Oh.
Instead of wrongly accused, just welcome, the consistently shit.
That hurts.
Very. Don't bring me down, man. I'm good.
That's what they used to call me in high school.
Constantly shit.
Alrighty,
That's
so
what Mason said.
nowadays I just consistently shit. Anyways,
We know.
Yo, same.
We know.
there's a meme on our TeamSpeak with with the boys. Whenever we take a break and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go take a dump. It's like I'm gonna take like 40 minutes basically. And they're like, oh great.
See you next year.
It's never taken me that long. What is wrong with men? Why do
It's
your
a
bowels work so
sacred time.
slowly?
That's my me time.
It's my
My
mean
me
time.
time, just like the shower.
Really?
Yeah.
Listen, the toilet's the one place I don't have to worry about anyone other than myself.
I can't tell you how many solos I've sang perfectly in the shower and how many different character voices I've practiced in the shower.
That's really
The
cute.
true voice actor.
That's adorable.
Right, so you guys don't see shit really. It's dark, you still have all like the bonfires around. Kinda it's a bit difficult to pick out a large door of inky black darkness. Don't really find anything. But the only other option is to continue. And unless you decide to break for whatever time it might be, you can continue going or whatever else. That would be pretty sick. Like trip over like a tree root and just fall and disappear.
Yep.
Like a Looney Tunes hole in the ground.
Hmm.
But yep. What do you guys want to do? You want to continue on?
Okay.
Yeah. Keep on going.
Keep on going. Alright. It's a little bit of a ways before you guys kind of break free from sort of the oppressing kind of drum sounds, leaving sort of the lair of Bonfire King Vavnok. The drums kind of begin to fade, but sort of that rhythm internal rhythm is kind of still consistent a little bit. It's a little weird having sort of that actual silence, but you still kind of feel that beat. It's a little bit more before it begins to wear off. In fact, it takes about as long as it takes me to find a new song. Ooh,
That's fine
scary.
right there. I don't care who you are.
Was really afraid I was gonna accidentally play Poco Loco. You hear maracas in the distance. Oh no, not again. It's a different kind of bonfire.
He's back.
Jose Vinoc. Mi amor.
No. It's the bonfire Hefe. Alright.
Scary noises.
Oh, why is it playing like sound? Oh, that's weird. It's supposed to play like music. Alright, hold on. I'm gonna find something here.
This is creepy.
I swear
don't know
freaking
why-
YouTubes are linked. I just got this video suggested in my feed like 2 hours ago.
I don't know why, but it decided to play Foley sounds instead, so...
Oh my god.
Ah, this is perfect.
Oh my
There's
god,
somebody
this,
behind me.
the footsteps.
This gives
I
me
know.
Silent Hill vibes, and I'm not about it.
Who the
I turn
fuck is
around and
walking
see-
behind?
It's Pyramid
just
Head.
Emmerich. Oh
Emmerich.
jeez.
It's like, oh, you're walking now.
Very sporadically.
Oh, mood shift.
Alrighty.
I heard the keys and I thought it was simple and clean at first. I'm like, what the fuck?
Bro! How could you do that to me? Alrighty. So, at this point, the denture's been kind of like floating around a little bit, moves over, and kind of hovering by Taz and Ophelia. Not really in the lead at this point, but just kind of like annoyingly being a backseat driver, almost literally kind of behind y'all's shoulders, correcting you guys whenever you stray off the path even a little bit. And you also can recognize that the detail you didn't really pick out in sort of the darkness of Vavnok's revelry, but the dentures are iron. The teeth are like iron ingots that have been forged to look like
Ew, scary.
some metal teeth. And they look a little wicked. Mostly you gather just because the whole metal bit, like there's like nails that kind of look like they stick the teeth into sort of the gum bit of the dentures, and it's got kind of like sort of like metal joint to substitute movement for it when clearly not in the mouth of someone. But anyways, moment of silence as passes while you guys are kind of walking quietly. He's, I am curious, which is mostly why I exist in the first place. But why are you searching out Madame?
A friend of mine is in service to her, and I don't think it was in her best interests.
Oh, I see. So, the slave that was mentioned, understood. You know what she did to get into the service of Madame Mulberry?
Do not. Seems she needed something, but.
Well,
Just
friend,
someone
that
else.
might be something to figure out.
It's been a while since I've been here, and I don't have anyone to figure that out from. So, just kind of going blind. But
Well, I wouldn't necessarily recommend that, but what can you do, I suppose? Work with what you have.
exactly.
And the rest of you are simply just following him along.
Oh yeah, we do everything together.
Do you bathe together? Sleep
Once.
together?
Yeah.
Use the
all of those
outhouse
things.
together?
No.
Not that.
Poop gang. Poop gang.
Well, you don't necessarily do everything together. I don't know, you mortals are always interesting to me. Is there anything you guys are wanting to do? Conversations to be had as you continue to make.
Don't think. Just. I mean, I would just kind of talk to the teeth and try and figure out more like what he's been up to. You know, like the hags he serviced and how he came to be and stuff, if he knows.
Oh, well, it all started long, long ago. You see. Wizards have this penchant for finding small things to simply keep them company. I've always considered them to be the most lonely folk.
Oh,
Now-
that's so sad.
Well, I mean, I see that you have a small creature of your own. You don't seem to be quite lonely.
Oh. That's true. This is Buns.
Ah, Buns, pleasure to make your acquaintance. And
He's
Buns
very
just kind of
smart.
like looks at it, wiggles his nose in a bunny fashion.
Buns was touched by a deity. He is an intelligent, blessed creature.
Oh, is he now? What can he do?
Shit.
He can cuddle up to people when I tell him to. I've been trying to teach him how to dance. He's pretty good at it. He can like scout ahead and stuff. He can like follow me. It's all very advanced for a bunny.
So he's a bunny.
He's an all mirage. He's a fey creature.
Right. The horn, dead giveaway. My mistake.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I was sort of in the situation of Buns, except I wasn't an Almirage ever. I've always been teeth. I don't know why.
So what happens if I put you in my mouth?
Could you repeat that, please?
What happens if I put you in my mouth?
Well, you have teeth of your own, so I don't know if it'll work. We could certainly try.
Do you like being in people's mouths?
Well, I am a pair of teeth. There's a certain feeling of home inside someone's mouth.
Oh
I
god.
don't think you could understand.
I think I've said
No.
that before.
You know, it just feels right. I can't quite place it.
Calm is too much.
I'm ignoring that.
There's a certain feeling about
Fucking got him.
Ooh. That's just good. I'm sorry, what's the last thing he said?
He can't quite explain why, but just being inside someone's mouth just feels right.
Okay. Well, do you think
Come
that
on, he's a pair of teeth.
do you think that you like enhance their ability to do something?
Well, I dramatically increased their intelligence, let me tell you, except it's more of my intelligence than it is theirs. I'm more like a lab partner, magical research partner.
Oh, so you know a lot about the arcane?
That is correct.
Very interesting. You're very useful.
So that's why the hags use you?
Oh yes, they many of them really want to get their wretched hands all over me and use me for all sorts of profane things. Probably research on how to, turn whole civilizations into toads or something mundane like that. Ugh.
So,
They lack the finesse.
who gave you to Vavnok, or why were you in that cage?
Well, I got picked up by someone, and while I was wandering about, you see, I can only take stupidity for so long, and especially the absolute abuse of the arcane arts. The hags, for all the credit mortals give them, at the end of the day, they're fey creatures, so obviously magic is like second nature to them. But just the way they use it, oh, it's like beating a baby seal upside the head with a club. It's absolutely terrifying to watch, and just I can't enjoy it whatsoever. The way they just use
Oh my
magic and
God.
abuse the weave. Oh,
Not the weave, bruh.
I agree.
Barbaric.
It's not even that hard to use the weave here in Ambria. I mean, there are other places where it's much more difficult.
Wait, what's the weave?
Oh, wait. You use magic and you don't know what the weave is?
Well, maybe I just know it by a different name.
Well, the weave is sort of the magical force surrounding the world as you know it. It's like it's like a force of reality, if you will. Creation, destruction, life, death, energy, non-energy. It's how do you explain it to a child? How do you explain it to a child? It's like gravity, the thing that keeps your feet underneath you.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's a force that's unseen, but it's something that certain people can draw from.
So, it's a force. Is there like a dark side?
Are you
and
trying
a
to make
light
some
side?
sort of pop cultural reference? Because it's lost on me.
Oh. I had no idea that this weave existed, so am I using it? No. Because I use divine magic.
Well, that explains it. But yes, your magic comes from a different source. There are others that are able to. Well, it comes from a different source, and it doesn't, because that source still draws it from the weave per se, but they have a better command of it, almost one that's unimaginably better than yours.
Oh. Well, that's your
Is
opinion.
Is it is it well, who gives you your magic?
Nyala.
Oh, yes, she has a very strong grasp on the weave here. Yes, absolutely. Not as good as some, but you know.
What?
Magic's dumb.
Uh.
I'm If I had
Okay.
a tongue, I'd be holding it right now.
Oh, what are you gonna
Let's-
say? Your teeth. Bleh.
I am teeth, and I know how to use myself. And he turns at you and just kind of like chink chink chomps his.
That is terrifying, actually.
Oh! We should start saying things like when we come or go, like, may the weave be with you.
I wouldn't say that. Most people don't know what the weave actually is. There's only a few. Well, I did mention Ambria. You are from Ambria, aren't you?
What the fuck? What's that?
That's a world, dear.
Well, I've never heard of it.
It's where Aesir is.
Your patronizing tone is getting real tiring.
I'm sorry, like I said, low tolerance.
Cattle.
Kitty.
What's Ambria?
Ambria is the planet you guys are on.
No.
Well, you're not on
it's
it right
called
now.
Aesir.
That's the country we're in.
The continent. Oh my gosh. Surely you all took geography.
Man, this
You
is
guys
fantasy.
didn't learn about Aesir?
This is fantasy shit. Eat my nuts.
Bruh.
Sorry, my fantasy geography isn't as on par as my, real world geography.
Well, why isn't it?
There's no classes on it.
I would teach that class.
The continent you are currently looking at, if you're actually on roll 20, is Aesir, and then the actual planet itself, the world, is Amber.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You learn something new every day. Can you name all 50 states of the United States of America? Oh.
Nope.
America.
That's one. United's the other. Okay. But yeah, so Aesir is the continent you guys are all from. And Ambria is the whole planet. But judging by the empty look in your eyes, I assume this magic lesson is over. You happen to... We didn't happen to pass any inky, dark, black doors, did we?
Let's check. I mean, there has to be a way to, like, find these, right? There has to be a better way of doing this.
Ooh.
Damn.
I mean, you could detail how you're going about looking for stuff.
There's
But-
enough where you could have used magic, I'm thinking.
Are these inky black doors direct planes to the Shadowfell?
Well, it's really they're more like means of entering into the Fey Dark, and from the Fey Dark has a closer connection to the Shadowfell than will the Feywild surface. You should be detecting a theme at this point. You know, Fey Dark, Shadow Fey, Shadow Road, Shadowfell.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I as a human would know all of those things naturally, clearly.
Well, you were surely hot stuff when you were flaunting the fact that you got to the bonfire earlier, so excuse me for having high expectations.
I aim to displease.
You've succeeded thus far. Ophelia,
Yeah?
you rolled the highest. Oh my god.
Hell yeah.
There's the rest don't really seem to notice this, but you keeping an eye out. Some leaves of a nearby bush appear to be dull, entirely lifeless. You guys walk past, and almost like a brief second in your peripheral vision, you see green and a little bit of gray for no reason. You guys are surrounded by plants, trees, bushes, all that fun stuff from a forest. With variable colors. All of them are still kind of maintaining that like pine forest vibe, but there's not been any gray.
Wait, guys. Look at this. I'm gonna
Nani?
reach down and like try to touch it.
You touch it and you immediately get this almost like numbing sensation.
Ew, it doesn't feel good.
Maybe that sounds promising.
I try to like push the leaves aside and see what's behind the bush.
Okay. You look behind the bush and you can see a couple of like patches of grass behind it have that same gray look, completely lifeless. You look and you can see there's bark on another tree further past that with a couple of splotches of gray on its bark.
Ooh, is this like the Shadow Road?
Oh, oh dear, it looks like it's spilling over. That's not good.
Well, we should go this way.
I would recommend extreme caution.
Okay.
This is what we're looking for, though, right?
Well, sort of. I wasn't expecting it to spill over this much. Where is that knight? You happen to have, you all haven't happened to see a Shadowfey knight, have you?
Talk about red sun?
No, that was Baba Yaga. Shalia?
Sheol is not a knight. She's an ambassador, if you will, a diplomat.
What about
Politician,
her
really.
two flunkies with her?
There's like gods, not really knights. There's knights specifically of the Shadow Fate that guard entrances to the Shadow Roads, and where there's not one here, and that's concerning.
Ooh, maybe it's just one they don't know about.
Out of my way, teeth boy. I'm about to find it.
Okay, kind of like swat him out of the air slightly, just kind of and you make your way. Continuing on, following kind of this like trail of gray that seems to be infecting the plant life here or there. You follow it until you find like more and more of this plant life has been just overtaken, or is slowly being overtaken by this kind of gray lifelessness. Almost like it's sick, like seeing spots on something. And as you follow, it begins to be more widespread through some of the plants. It's weird. They're not wilting necessarily. They just look like the color's been sucked out of them.
Oh god. This makes me a little sad.
Make sure you're all wearing shoes. Careful to keep your hands to yourself. Touch anything, it's gonna go numb.
Sticks tongue out to plant.
The shadow feels
Did you
like
touch it?
NyQuil incarnate.
NyQuil incarnate.
Yeah, we could use these plants to make lean.
Yo.
Yeah, I'm gonna lick that plant.
Ew.
Alright, you look at that plant. You can't feel your tongue at all.
It
Oh, Sebastian, what are you doing? That looks unhealthy.
doesn't feel very good. How long does this last?
Does anybody understand what he's saying?
How long does it last? He said.
Thank you.
Oh. I honestly am not quite sure.
Oh, fuck.
Oh my. He's kind of the dentures float over to the tree that you look. Oh dear, it's in advanced stages. Oh my, it's almost entirely gray. This is not good.
No!
Floats around a little bit. He's like, I'm afraid you may never feel your tongue again.
Sebastian, I'm so sorry.
Oh, fuck.
This is not good for making out with someone.
Oh, this is why you shouldn't go licking random things.
Got him.
My
Here,
thumb
I
is
can
white.
probably-
Tongue to yourself.
This is why you keep your tongue to yourself. I can probably fix that. I'm gonna try lesson restoration. Just be like, stick your tongue out, I guess. I touch it.
Mm, keeping my comment to myself.
Stop.
Yep, okay, so lesser restoration. Feeling does begin to flood back into
Thank you.
you. Suddenly aware of the severe cotton mouth you've gotten.
Water.
Sandy, I need water.
Air is not good. Air is not good. Alright. You continue to follow this Shadowfell corruption, if you will. Not really knowing about a term to call it. And you get to kind of a part where like this whole part is just grayscale entirely. It's like stepping into the cartoon world from that one song by Aha.
Take on me.
Take on me.
Take on me, you know.
I
Yeah.
hate that knew exactly what you were talking about. The pencil sketch.
Yup. It really throws you off for a second, and you hear this sort of like humming nearby, and following this the Shadowfell corruption, you see lo and behold a large inky black darkness door that's not standing up, but it's like this rough rectangle kind of set into the ground.
Shouldn't that be standing up? You said it was like a door.
Well, yes. I don't know. The threat to bodily harm is high. Maybe we shouldn't be here.
Well, we need to go here, right? You, knowing teeth of many things.
If you want to go there fast, then sure. I didn't say it was safe.
Well, we can protect ourselves. We're quite capable, and fast is key.
Yeah. It'll be fine.
All right. In we go, I suppose.
Woohoo!
I'm gonna jump in.
All right. You guys jump in. All right. You, Sebastian, as you put it, you jump right in first. You jump in, and the kind of the inky black darkness is kind of almost like a buffer. Your feet go through, and you again sort of feel like this subtle numbness wash over your body as you pass through kind of the black or really just blackness of it. And when you jump, you land on actually what feels like stair steps, and it catches you by surprise, not knowing they were there, and you immediately just kind of like trip and fall down the rest of the stairs. Luckily, it's only like you jump down most of the flight of the stairs.
Oh my God.
When you like jump down, you're like, whoa, because it like continues on. Yeah. About it.
Accidentally trips and falls into shadow. Shit. More like
And you
shit
kind of
over
tumble
there.
down the last few stairs. It's not a big deal. It's definitely embarrassing. The rest of you follow suit, and that same sort of subtle numbness washes over you. And it was just like this hole in the ground, but it looks almost like you're in this cavern tunnel. You look behind you, and you can't really see anything. It's just darkness. It's just black, just pitch black. You can't see anything from the outside, really. But there's some some small little like torch sconces that are like sparsely placed through into this tunnel, and you can hear kind of like that like Minecraft portal sound, just kind of down the tunnel a ways.
Zombie
But you hear kind of like this presence of something at the end of whatever this tunnel is.
I don't like those noises.
Don't worry, zombie pigmen aren't hostile unless you attack them first.
What are you talking about?
It's Minecraft. Alright, I'm going to draw my sword.
Continuing forwards.
Yeah.
You do reach this sort of kind of like these two pillars that are kind of not really like they're set in this tunnel at the end, but rather part of it is jutting out from the stone of the cavern, like the cavern wall. And in between is like this weird, almost like film. It looks like marble that's kind of slowly in motion, almost like water, kind of like waves sort of slowly churning. It's more black than it is white, but it's got kind of like these white streaks in it. And you can see little swirls of gray almost too. And the portal like this stands before you, and the dentures go, "Ah, there it is. They haven't turned it off."
His name is Denny.
Okay, Denny.
Sorry.
Not quite that. That's a good comparison. That's more like a fog gate from like Dark.
Yeah.
But it's like you know how marble looks, how it's got like the or like granite, really, like, or marbled granite where it's like white with those like black streaks in it and swirls. It's like that, but if you flipped it, where it's more black than it is.
I like Scarface's bathroom.
Sure. Hey, stop coughing.
My roommate.
Oh, it wasn't even her I roasted.
No, I forgot that you're there.
Oops.
I forgot Liberty existed.
I literally thought you were at home.
I thought you were at home too.
No, not at home.
Damn.
How's she doing? Is that man still bothering her?
No.
Oh yeah, you can't answer.
Can't really talk
Yeah,
about
yeah.
it.
You could just say yes or no, or sort of.
You have the earbuds in, right? She can't hear us, right?
No, she can't hear you. She can just hear me.
Well, now she knows.
She said
Now-
hi.
No,
She
she doesn't.
knows! Abandoned!
Ask her. It says
We're-
Maddie wants to know if that man is still bothering her. Come on, she likes me.
She does like you. She said it multiple times.
So you're not gonna ask her? Okay.
Maddie wants to know if that man, as she puts it, is still bothering you.
Oh, damn.
She said, did you hear her?
Yeah, she
No.
means boy.
He's a boy.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's all I need
Oof.
to know.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
Answers that.
Moving on.
This
Because
has been overreaching.
Ah.
It's fun. It's funny.
alrighty. So, what do you guys do?
Is like a
jump in.
password or
It's just an open portal right there, waiting to be. Ooh,
Bonsai.
enter me, adventurers.
Oh
let's
god.
get the relish lube up and going.
Rub your hands in relish again.
Get the relish.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's just such a good meme. It's like
It's a proper term.
Whenever
People say it.
it's like whenever Sebastian's about to like get ready for a fight, and you know how like Olympians will like put chalk on their hands before
Yeah.
they do gymnastics. He just pulls out a tube of Heinz relish and just squirts it into his hands, rubs it together. He's like, "All right, let's go. Let's
Poison
dance."
damage.
Just has like a bag of holding just full of Heinz relish, always ready.
I got
Endless
a pickle.
Heinz relish.
Yo.
It's like instead of Pepe hands, he's got like hands full of relish.
That's so disturbing.
So stupid.
Especially because you guys just fucked up and thought it was like actual relish. That's the worst part. Like relish is a completely normal descriptor for looking forward and anticipation, but no, y'all had to meme on
You
me and be
said-
like, "Ha ha, fucking pickles."
It's because of the way you said it. You said, "I rub my hands in relish." What was I supposed to think?
Oh god.
Fuck this.
Alrighty.
Did he leave?
With,
I'm here.
with all of you... No, he didn't.
I'm mad about the pickle jokes. Mom, they're bullying me.
You call your wife mom? That's pretty weird, chant, bro.
Hot.
I jump in that fucking portal.
Okay. You guys all slather yourselves in relish and
I will leave.
It's too good to leave alone now. It's been established. Like Peyton is edgy and Ophelia is horny, Sebastian's covered in relish.
Pickle boy.
Alrighty.
Pickle Rick.
You guys all walk through the portal, and that numbness washes over you. It's overwhelming. It's more intense. It's almost like your whole body is just fallen asleep. It's very uncomfortable, especially in certain places, having those never fallen asleep before. But after a moment of acclimation, some feeling returns, though muted. It's almost like it's almost like you're feeling lag with physical sensation. You touch something, and it's almost like, though technically it's not like a split second later, because that's not how biology works. It feels like that. Almost like there's a delay between touching something and then actually feeling it physically. And you look around, and immediately there's just this massive gust of wind that just blows across. Your hair is all whipped back. Loose belongings attached to you kind of like dangle in the wind. And you guys kind of look around you and gain your wits about. The landscape is really just as kind of what you expected compared to what Denny had described. It's kind of this sort of wasteland, if you will. There's just this black and gray, craggy landscape, muted tones of like a purple. And you realize you guys are on this road, like a literal road. Like, bit on the nose with the whole Shadow Road bit, but okay. And then you realize as you're kind of looking around at your surroundings, like this craggy landscape, you can see you're elevated actually, almost as if you're on like a massive stone highway that's just wide enough. You see for carriages, like horse-drawn carriages, perhaps, to probably go either direction, coming from or going towards. The stone seems a bit out of place, but it doesn't quite match. It has color. It has color. Everything else is just this muted, kind of sad tones. You look around and Denny goes, "Oh, well, we're here. That's good. Now the only question is, where do we hop off?"
You don't know?
I have a rough estimate, but it's not exact.
Great.
I'm going to put you in a glass of seawater.
You know that I can't drown, right?
Oh no, but you'll rust.
He doesn't say anything.
So, where's this general spot? I'm sure it's bang on.
Well, it's down a ways. Theoretically, the amount of distance traveled here is supposedly a bit more than what would be actually traveled in the Feywild. So, I'm not saying that's exactly 1 foot equates to 2 feet in the Feywild, but it's something along those lines. So, a bit of a faster pace, if you will. It certainly makes walking a bit more economic.
Your vocabulary is just so impressive.
Oh, well, thanks. I've had,
I've just-
millennia to practice.
I've never heard the word economic before. I don't know why this comes to mind. I'm sorry.
Come look at it.
Let's just move on.
You can marvel at my intelligence as we're moving. We should probably go before patrol comes by.
Patrols?
So we have to find a certain exit. I mean, there's not portals like everywhere.
No. There's certain stops that are like established entrances and exits. But you said you were capable of folks that could defend themselves. Surely patrols shouldn't be an issue. You don't have. You have what? Planar shift. You just use that. We should be fine.
Well, if we have
can't do
that,
that.
we need to find the entrance in the first place.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Could we?
entrance is a bit easier than blowing energy used to cast spells, but sure.
Well, we can't quite planar shift. We can.
I'm not an expert on magic, but couldn't we just banish ourselves from this plane?
Wouldn't that take us back to our home plane?
Yeah.
She's right. That's the nice thing about the quiet ones. They don't talk much, but when they do, they usually make good points.
Suppose that would be the nuclear option then. Cat on lap.
Well, let's get going then to the exit you think would be most appropriate.
Well, we can certainly try and find an approximation. The The Shadow Fae, of course, like all the other courts, have contact with Winter, which is about where Madame Mulberry is. So we should be able to find a stop that's closest to her. Though, closest might mean more along the lines of, like, instead of 120 miles, it's now, 50.
Closer is better.
Right, well, tally ho then. Continue on. Do keep a lookout for patrols.
Okay.
Alrighty. So, down the Shadow Road you go. You get the feeling that the Shadow Fae, painstakingly constructed these sort of raised highways, if you will, through the Shadowfell. It's kind of a convenient means of travel, but also one that clearly they have mapped out rather well, because kind of looking off in the distance, you can almost easily make out another shadow road ways on these large stone pillars, kind of meandering on over across the distance, across the horizon, down to where it connects to the road that you're on at some point ahead of you. It was quite the undertaking, rather an impressive feat. But the scenery is, well, it's something else, that's for sure. As you guys are continuing on, I'd like you all to make a perception roll, please.
$20.
Okay. As you guys are walking for several hours, you can see sort of the craggy landscape about you. You can see at one point sort of the Shadow Road traverses over like this small canyon where this black river, very far down below, to the point where it looks very small, is kind of winding its way through sort of this dark earth. And you can see kind of above it, there's like this plateau that is almost a bit level, but you can see level with the Shadow Road. But you can see figures on it. Lots of figures on it. In fact, droves in droves, like a large horde of these figures. Most of them you think are by, and it's just covered, and they're all kind of like slowly shambling and meandering on in one direction or another, just kind of like making their way as like this large wave slowly towards wherever is off in the distance.
Oh gosh, what is that? Who are those things?
Probably Sarsworn.
They to be avoided.
Oh, definitely. Needless to say, I wouldn't spend, like, time is of the essence, and it's even more of the essence in the Shadowfell. The longer you stay here, the more it has an effect on you. If you want to know what kind of effects, kindly turn your attention to the right, towards that plateau.
I'm going to turn my attention to the right towards that plateau.
Which is again, the horde of things you're looking at. You see one of them kind of shambling on. It's closest to the ledge of the plateau, but that ledge is also kind of the closest part of the plateau to the Shadow Road. And kind of slowly turns, and you realize it's got more than two arms. It's got 3. And one of the
Ooh.
arms seems to be kind of sticking up out of its back. And where there's hands, there's singular hooks. And its head is stuck in almost like the neck's been broken in an angle. Large, white eyes, crooked teeth. And it seems to almost regard you for a second. And then it begins to slowly start to shamble in your direction. It's still a ways off, and you watch it and you're like, wait, but the plateau stops and it keeps going. And it keeps going. And you see others just kind of turn as you guys have kind of stopped to watch them and regard you. And before you know it, more and more of this massive horde begins to slowly turn and make its way towards the Shadow Road where you guys are standing. Slowly shambling. The first one you saw moving keeps going and just dips off of the plateau, just walks right off the ledge and plummets down. And you watch keep. And then the others continue to keep shambling forwards. And they just, like lemmings, slowly walk their way off the plateau. And they land, and it begins like this pile of bodies. It's weird. You know, these creatures look pretty fucked, so you don't feel as bad about them just kind of like walking off this ledge to their death. But it begins making like this pile of bodies, almost like a World War Z kind of fashion. And the half of the horde is walked off at this point, and you can see that there's others that are walking from the pile that started of these bodies that's making their way towards the Shadow Road down below now on the ground beneath you, even more bent and broken, just unrelentingly just coming towards you where you're at on the Shadow Roads.
Guys, I'm scared. You think
Alright.
those are undead?
They're pretty messed up. I'm just gonna go.
Yeah. Don't like that.
Probably best not to tarry. Shall we? You continue
Yeah,
on.
let's go.
You guys see a few more hours of travel. You can see sort of like this large, almost like rocky. It looks almost like it's a natural rock formation, kind of. It's jutting up, but it's almost like thin. And there's a storm that seems to be brewing around it. These dark clouds kind of obscuring the top of it. And then there's a sudden you see a flash, and then the sound hits you, and then another flash of lightning from that storm, and that second time it illuminates what looks to be hundreds of kind of black dots amongst the clouds, silhouetted by the light.
Oh, it's like the opposite of stars?
Yeah.
Ew, I don't like it. My trypophobia. Is that what it's called?
Fear of holes.
I think trypophobia is fear of holes.
Yeah.
Like having holes and stuff. No, it's like you know, these dark clouds, but they're suddenly turned like white all of a sudden from like the flash of lightning. And then amongst the clouds you can see like all of these dots. Not quite holes, but there's something in the cloud. And they seem to all be like gathered around this storm that's around this spire. Like you all to make a perception check.
Banging.
22.
Damn, you're all high.
Goddamn laser eyes.
With each flash of lightning, you can see this massive kind of flock of things flying around. And you get in one of the flashes of lightning, what looks to be the spire suddenly doesn't look as natural. In fact, it looks almost like a giant, like a pillar or like a tower that's been constructed, or at least carved into the rock itself. And you can see something like a large swaths kind of carved into it, where you can see almost like a big sort of domed head that kind of goes down into like some very simple like straight teeth, and then kind of carvings, smaller circles within sort of this dome, and you look at it and it kind of reminds you of a skull almost. And there are letters underneath it, massive letters that have been kind of carved into the rock underneath. And they spell out really most of what you can catch of it is just that's about all you can glean from whatever's been carved
Good.
into the
gosh.
spire.
Mort.
Morty.
Morty.
We all rushed to make this.
Come on, Morty.
What does
Hey.
Mort mean, Denny?
Mort. Well, it's not a complete word. It could mean all kinds of things. Suddenly, my very advanced vocabulary is escaping me. It could mean well, mortar is what it is linguistics.
Linguistics.
It's like a prefix, I believe. It means something like death, death related. So to be quite honest, it's the Shadowfell. It would totally be on brand.
Okay.
I mean, there's some in some mortal languages, there are spells that will, have like some form of that prefix in it. Usually, they're things that are, not good.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like finger of death or something.
Yeah, it could be, the finger of, finger of death, finger of phalanges of mort. I don't know.
You're so smart, Denny.
I know. Thank you. But
They're not still coming after us, right?
what the horde of things?
I just remembered them. They're not coming after us still, right?
Do you check?
I look behind us,
You look
scaredly.
behind you. There's there's a figure on
Ah,
behind you, and it's coming towards you, towards your direction.
it's like walking.
You look, and you roll 22. It's galloping.
Ah! It's a horseman. It's a horseman, you guys. There's somebody on a horse running towards us.
Who?
Can't you see? I looked at. Oh shit, she's right.
Yeah, Taz, you can see it. I mean, all of you can see it, really. Especially now that she's pointed it out. This figure is galloping towards you guys from behind. And it gets close, and you can make out a humanoid form, top to back. Some vaguely horse-like creature.
Oh, that would probably be that knight Denny was going on about.
Oh, yes, one of the Shadow Road Knights. That's that's certainly not bad. It could be worse.
Oh, really? Are you sure?
Is
Oh
it
yeah,
coming
it could
after us?
be something like a Dullahan, like those. Oh, absolutely not.
Mm.
Everything here is my
You're
worst nightmare. I hate it. Are we going to
Is
hide?
it-
What are we?
clopping of the hide. Where are we going to hide?
Was he just riding by, or do you think he's after us?
It's the
It's
Shadowfell.
getting closer.
Everything is evil.
You can hear the clops of the hooves on the stone. You can make out more specific features. Dark figure, wearing like this dark kind of like stained black plate, black horse whinnying. Riding up, it seems to be holding a sort of like whip in its hands.
Yeah, no.
Getting closer, you hear a "Yah!" whoosh, and the horse whinnies and begins going faster and faster toward. So are we staying to fight, or what's going on?
Let me try something. I hold up my holy symbol and try to turn undead.
Okay, you turn on deck, hold up the holy symbol, the light of Nyala emanating from it, emblazoned by your faith, and the creature continues.
Okay, it's not working.
Guess it's not dead.
Let's make it dead.
We've been entirely too lucky.
At this point, you can make out specific detail. The um, the dentures. Then he's like, "Oh, ooh, this is not good. In fact, are you sure you want to stay?"
We can't
I
really
don't think
outrun
we
it.
can outrun it.
I could.
No, fair point. I
You
was
guys,
worried
not
about
so much.
the figure on horseback stops and pulls up, and you hear him saying, "So, Tivoli."
Just get out my sword. Yeah.
No, maybe we should try to understand.
Well, two of you speak Sylvan.
Yeah, what's he saying?
Yeah, what do you say?
Halt. Who are you?
Or just answer back in Sylvan. Just servants of Mulberry heading back. Quickest way we know.
You're just
Damn.
Mulberry.
Yeah,
Make a deception.
You got this.
I'm pretty good at this.
Okay. Well, there's a thing about Fae, and that's that they cannot speak lie, and they cannot be lied to.
Damn.
And
What?
you see the expression on the man frowns for a moment as he regards. And he goes, "Ha! In Sylvan, satyr and something pink in the service of Madame Mulberry? Please, what are you actually doing here?" You see, the skin is kind of like almost like his eyes seem almost empty, and the face is sunken in a bit, especially at the cheeks. The hair is kind of like there's like barely any hair on the head, and like a small little tuft on the chin.
I was looking for you. Sexy.
Hey, sailor.
Well, we are going to find Mulberry.
Uh,
The quickest way we know.
Who gave Who gave you permission to travel our roads?
Denny?
Denny.
Danny.
Fucking teeth.
What?
Some
Me?
tea.
I don't have. You watch the figure on horseback, kind of unfurls his whip,
Oh my god.
and you watch as a length of spine
Oh, sexy.
falls down and lands on the ground.
I'm gonna raise
He
my sword.
goes-
Like, yep, this turned out how I thought it would.
Upon seeing the whip, he goes, "Oh, this is worse than I thought it was." And the free hand of the figure goes, takes the head by the hair on its head, and lifts the head up.
Oh shit!
And he begins cackling,
It is a dual hunt.
and that's where we're gonna end tonight's session.
Thank you.